I've mentioned before, the best banter of football I've ever seen, and the sign has sounded.
Yeah, big calves as well.
Mustang. Yeah, he's got big area. And throws the ball up in the air. In they go for the ruck at the moment. The big fella there for Officer got the top out there in Roach. But they come down through Upwey's clearance. Will drop what he probably should have taken. Has Benny hitting his fumble a couple of times as well. Picked it up now. Got a handball out to no one in particular. Just ricochets back, straight back to Benny Hinton too. Gets the old wobbly wobbler going straight to the top of the goal square. Nobody can take hold of that mark. Good tackle laid over there by Procaro of Upwey Tecoma. And another one then. Beacon has picked it up, and there's a free kick being played for incorrect disposal. It's going to go away to Tigers. They look like they're on straight away, don't they? And it's the big man here in Daniel Waters. Not sure if he actually should have been the recipient of that free kick, to tell you the truth. And this will be very Jaime-like, robotic, but usually very accurate.
Yeah. Just put on there, Leo. Yeah, no, put it through. They're up through.
And here they go. The Tigers off to a terrific start. They are that score of 1 goal straight. That's taken less than 1 moment. And of course, Officer are yet to score. So well done there, and that's exactly what they would have been doing. Really concentrating on getting that centre clearance, and they did it quite well. And they're going to go once more into the ruck. And for Upwey Tecoma, of course, you've got Child and Sophie Mustang. Taking it in once again.
Ball back in the middle. What can be done here? Nice little, very high throw up in the air. And I'll tell you what, Upwey Tecoma are going to get the centre clearance again. All they need is a mark on the end of this. Just bounces in front of there, and it's gone in, out of bounds in front of the people there for a boundary throw in. So 2 centre clearances in dynamite time there for the Tigers. They're up and about too, you can tell. Nice little crowd in here today at Upwey, inside and outside as the ball's back into play. Roach works his way to the front and got the tap down, trying to run onto the ball, but ran over it was Hinton. He eventually gets it. Is dragged for in a rugby league tackle of sorts. Leo thought it was holding the ball, but none coming towards there. And will be a ball up just inside the forward 50 for Upwey. Roach again, tapped it down to Bernardo. Looked to give it off straight away, but couldn't do so. And we'll have a secondary ball up. They go again. That time the hit out went to Beacom.
Bit of Saga.
Chol, good pass. Off the ground. The mark has been taken by Sinclair. Sinclair will go inside forward 50 to a 1-on-1. Just dropping the mark at a bit of an opportune time there was Peduto. Handball comes out the back. It was going towards Bernardo, but couldn't grab the footy. Oates has the football now. Gave it off this time to Hinton. Hinton kicks to about 20 out top of the square, and going back with the fly to the ball and taking the mark was Roach, who's given it off to Benny O'Loughlin, who's kicked in the middle of the ground was a ripper, and taking a tumbling mark there in the middle. They opt to switch now. Who will get his name? This is Bernardo though. Neutral side on the wing. His kick was just a little bit too hot for his teammate there that time. In the 57 of Hancock, and it's gone out of bounds for a throw in. Let me have a crack, son.
Ball to be thrown in on the wing, broadcast side of the ground. It's going to be Chol and the big fella Roach to go at it. Both spread apart. Eventually they lock. Chol just wins the tap there, but he tapped it straight down to Smolch. Couldn't quite get a kick away though. And Smolch goes again. Just a hurried kick onto the boot there, and that's going to go straight into the hands there of Orenshaw. And he moves the ball up the line here to a teammate in Costas. Costas on the outer side of the ground. He puts a nice little kick onto the boot, but it just doesn't quite work out in the end to Waters. And Officer are going to get the ball back for the time being. Just a momentary lapse in play as the ball goes over the fence.
You'll see they're going out of bounds on the full quite a lot there on the near scoreboard. For some reason, the ground really cuts in quick there, and you think you've got a little bit more space, and you don't. It actually just really cuts in, a bit like Geelong. Big long kick. Child takes the mark on centre wing, outer side, tennis court side of the ground. You can switch play now. Oh, wrong. It wasn't far enough. Got him interrupted there, and they can go off and running an Officer through Maloney. Ex-Emerald player there as well. Very poor left foot kick. A couple of chains of handballs from Upwey, and they can relieve the pressure. And the mark's been taken again. Bowling green side. They also now want to change the direction of the play. And here they go. This looks like...
he kicked it into his teammate.
Great smother by his own teammate. Never mind. They've got plenty of numbers there. Up by handball by Sammy Waters, the skipper. Gave it across, but been intercepted there by Thompson of Officer. Here they go once more. A little handball across to Smolch. And that was a chase. Comes back to the broadcast wing. And mark's been taken by Anthony Bernardo. Goes long, right in front of the coach's box. In front, 1 grab, 2 grab. Was that a free kick? Umpire said, no, you staged for it. Mark's been dropped there. Orenshaw had it once more. Upwey for a chain of handballs. Got to get a quick kick. Did so. That was through Sinclair. Centre wing, bit of a leg tangle there to Daniel Waters. Don't get hurt, son. Heenan once again. That's Benny. Go across to a two-metre. Went left out. Ben gets it once more. Ben Hinton picks it up and throws it. Beacon across to Lay Shepherd. Also coming through hard there was Von Hess. And the umpire says you've won a free kick. And Von Hess takes it from centre circle.
Von Hess, just a little worm burner. Pays out though. Mark has been taken by Oates. Man on the mark. Do you think it's 50 metres here, or would it be a little bit more of a 45 maybe?
Yeah, if that.
40 even, I reckon, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to say man on the mark's about 43 metres out, I'll go with.
The ground does play longer because of the heaviness of it.
It's directly in front. Oates kicking to the foliage end. David Attenborough's in there somewhere. Kickers on the way, and I'll tell you what, it's a ripper.
Beautiful kick.
Second of the afternoon for Upwey Tecoma, and they've got the hot start. 2 straight 12 now. Officer yet to score. We've gone 6 minutes in the first quarter.
Yeah, lovely kick there, and always been a very good player, Bartley Oates, and got a few more pictures on the old league since I've seen him last, but very, very hard. The Coonan brothers have really started well, both Benny and Coonan, really good, hard-at-it players, and normally used to see them a bit on the back line, but they really are playing quite well. I see going into the centre circle there, Benny Hinton, and one of the strong players inside that middle of the ground. Young Sammy Wicks also in that centre square. Good to see a young under-18 player there as well. Hayden.
Joel gets the tap. It's running onto it here for the time being is Meebus. And Meebus' handballs to the outer side of the ground here, running onto the ball there. That time was Marks. And now they can get the ball moving towards their forward 50. That kick just going over the head, though, of Clark. And now Upwey Tecoma can counter-attack. It's the big fella Joel once more. He just goes with a handball. He tend to see that a bit with a ruckman, not opting for the kick. This is a bit of a funny one. It might be to the advantage here of the teammate. Just a soccer kick off the ground there, that time by Picaro. And the ball just going to be thrown into play. It'll be about 25 to 30 metres out from Upwey Tecoma's goal. So it's going to be Roach in the ruck here. Charles is going to hang back from the contest, so he might just be rucking between the arcs here. So ball thrown back into play. Roach with the body work. He tapped it down to his teammate. I think it's Smolch that time. Little soccer kick off the ground there by Smolch. It works out okay. Hits up the teammate. So in the middle of the ground here on the cricket pitch. Kicking the ball out wide there is Marks. He finds a teammate. I think this is Bernardo. Bernardo working the ball to a teammate, that time in O'Loughlin. So just a slow build up here from Officer at the moment, but another good kick there working out, I think. Is the mark paid? Yes, it is. So they're about to go inside 50 or inside 45, whatever you want to call it.
It's Hancock.
Hancock's got the ball. Sets it up. I think he might even have a shot at goal there. It's not a bad looking kick. It's gone through.
That's a beauty. An absolute great goal there, Jordan Hancock. That's from a long way out on a pretty tight angle. Out to the Gembrook end, and they needed that just to settle things down a little bit there, Officer. So they go to 1 goal straight 6. They trail Upwey Tecoma 2 straight 12, and we've been going 8 minutes. Could have a bit of a shootout here, Liam, and if this keeps going.
Well, the arcs are 40 metres. There we go.
Thanks very much. And we thought they were 39 and a half, but we weren't far out, boys.
Always cracking jokes, Leo.
There we go.
Just like Cameron did last week.
Yeah,
had a few one-liners.
What about my trivia question last week, Liam? I think I might need to bring that back again this week.
Both ruckmen got a bit of that, and Hinton after it once again. Was a bit of a follow-up, but he misses that. Tackles the player without the football there, and Rogers, the umpire, let it go. Nobody wants to pick it up. I guess it goes in there was one of the Upwey players once again, and this time it's going to be a ball up. Coming up last of all there is Luke Smolch. So it's a bit of a tug-of-war happening at the moment. In the ruck they go once again. The big fellow Roach puts his big body in the way. Bit hard to move there. Bernardo got the little handball out, and they're often running through Mybus. Goes right, goes left, goes back to the left, and on the left foot puts in the low pass, and did quite well, the young man. They can play on here, and Officer goes straight to full forward. No one can take all that. A bit of a check side kick, and I think they put the second on the board through Daniel Taylor. And that was a very quick reply for their first 2 goals, and of course now Officer also 2 straight 12. And we've been going 9 minutes. A lovely bit of play there by young Mybus, I thought, Aidan.
Yeah, he did pretty well there. A bit of a chaos ball almost there. Just rush it in forward, and that's kind of been the way to go at the moment in this game. Small ground, just get the ball inside 50, and it's worked out for both teams so far. And scores are level here at the Silver Dome, 2 goals apiece. And we are 9 minutes and 30 seconds into the first quarter.
Ball back in the middle now. Chol having a break from ruck duties for Upwey Tecoma. Roach won the tap decisively that time. The ball's gone to a little bit of vacant territory. Running onto it and picking it up with Sinclair before he was met by a couple of Upwey officer players. Handball from Burrows went into his own teammate. Oates goes in a second time, gives it off to Sinclair, who goes inside forward 50, looking for a teammate. And Waters has got it, one out. His teammate, his opponent, I should say, slipped over at an inopportune time, and Ellett.
Bit of a size difference too. If Ellett's going to be his opponent, and Dangerous Waters are going to say, just put it out in front of me, I'm not going to get outmarked. And here he goes again. You watch this robotic style. It's a very accurate style. You probably kick it out in the full after giving him a big rap like that. That usually happens. Comes off the boot pretty well. That's not a problem.
What'd you say?
Never looked like missing, did it? So the big fella. Daniel Waters has got 2, and Upwey Tecoma go to 3 straight, 18. And Officer, 2 straight, 12. So we've got a good game happening at the moment. Guys, 10.5 minutes gone first quarter. We'll keep going at this rate. We'll be 30 goals to 28.
Yep.
Go on, Paul's a guitar aside, the waving the flags.
As BT would say, Lau, I think he just started inside the left goal post and just got it to work back. It was a beautiful kick there out on the boundary line by Waters as the ball goes back into the middle here.
Up she goes once again. Both ruckmen just get a fingernail to it. Bernardo's been busy there for Officer. Carries it along with him. Unfortunately for him, he's going the wrong way. And it's going to be just slightly forward of centre for Upwey. For a secondary ball up, umpire Lee Walters with it. Throws the ball up nice and high. Both ruckmen went up there. And good bit of a tap out, and that was Weezer of Upwey Tecoma, and got a secondary kick as well. Little one came out there. That's the young fella in Weeks. Big long handball came back to Weezer. Gives it across to a teammate. And here they go now, straight back down the middle of the ground to the goal square, looking for Daniel Waters. It goes over the head of young Hellier. It's gone out of bounds in front of the old Vic Ressam stand. And it's going to be another throw in. So a good start here by both sides at the moment. Officer setting up for the switch. They've got the switch players sitting here in front of the pavilion at the moment. Roach is out the back of the pack, just puts his big backside in there and got the handball out. The old 1-2 back to Bernardo. He's had quite a bit of it already. Oh, just kicks it up very, very high indeed. There's only one player underneath that, and that was Von Hessen. He couldn't hang on to that either, so it's going to be play on. The umpire just let it go, close to the boundary line. Quick kick comes back into the forward 50 there for Upwey. The big fella Beacom just gave him a bit of a Yorker there, just couldn't get the body down there. Great pick up by Roach. Got a handball, was a bit slick. Bernardo's good enough to pick it up for Officer. Gives a long handball back into the goal square. Under a bit of pressure they are. No, Lachlan, the skipper for Officer, gets a bit of a kick out there. And like I say, guys, it's a bit narrow out there. It's gone out of bounds for another free kick Upwey.
Bit like that outer side down at Geelong.
It is, mate. That's what I was trying to say that. Yeah, it's very, very narrow there.
And the kick went inside the 40, and it's been fisted out for a throw-in for kicking towards the foliage end. Some nice trees down the end. Ball back in. Roach won the tap from behind that time. Brought it to ground. That won't be going anywhere anytime soon, I don't think. Umpire is circling. No, she's letting them play. Eventually comes out. Bit of a chaos ball at the moment. No one's controlling it, that's for sure. Had 8 players. No, you can't. Had 8 players over the top of it. Red footy too, Leo. Brave decision, you think?
Yeah, Upwey often have yellow footage because then they can use them down there for training a little later on. So they use it many, many times. So it's rare to see a red footy down here at Upwey.
Ball went up in the air. Both ruckmen fought a little bit of a draw, and it's gone eventually out to that tennis court side of the ground, where I'm sure Leo might have even played a little bit of tennis back in the day.
No, tennis wasn't my sport, mate. I couldn't see any incentive in doing that. And, I needed a brick wall, so it came back to me nice and easy.
Ball back into play. Tap out was by Weiser that time. Got a free kick for a push.
Wicks.
Going the way of the Tigers, and Wicks looking for a short target. And it's just bounced in front. Running back towards it was Schmate for Officer. His handball was to no one in particular. Got to be careful here, Officer, but they're doing quite well this time. They're bringing the ball out of defence, although it's happened again, Leo. It's gone out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, well, I've seen it time and time again, and you just got to be so careful. All the way out, you've got a free player at centre half forward, taking an uncontested mark with Sinclair. Wants to play on straight away, very, very low. Couldn't be hung on to by Picaro, so they can get out through Bernardo once again. He's had a lot of the footy. Just goes laterally towards the boundary line. Will this be delivered? Daniel Waters taps it back over his head, keeps it in play. Unfortunately for him, it lands in the hands of Allett of Officer. They get out of here once more. Into the centre square it goes. Marks dropped over there by Marks. That's an interesting name, considering what just took place. And there's a free kick for in the back. And the free kick are going to go the way of Upwey Tecoma. And this is another young fella in Dylan Hellier. 40 metres out. Got to kick it about 45. He's going to be kicking, well, I usually call it the Jeff Pitts end. I might do that again. So up there. Gets under it a little bit. Going to drop at the end of the goal square. Who's in front? Nobody. Nobody can take that mark. The big fella there trying to pick up was Beacom. And he's won himself a free kick. May have been a little bit high, but it was...
Just about put this in the book.
He's going to put it in the books at 100 gamer. Liam Beacom. Right on the edge of the 10-metre square. Should have no problem whatsoever. Have seen him miss from here before. And no problems. Makes my heart beat a bit quicker. But the big fella in his 100th game has kicked his first goal. And pretty good kicking, guys. 4 straight. 24. Upwey Tecoma. 2 straight. 12. Officer, and we've been going 15 minutes in quarter number 1. I don't know if I can keep this pace up, Aidan.
Yep, that's it. We'll have a quick look at the AFL score there at Marvel Stadium. Start of the second quarter, Fremantle 3-0-18, leading Carlton 1-3-9.
What about around town? Any scores happening as well?
Have a quick look at the scores around town, Les. The ball goes back into the centre. I think it's big fella Weezer in here at the moment. Ball just bobbling around on the ground. And now eventually it comes to the outer side as Lamb grabs my phone to have a quick look at the scores here. Trying to take the defensive mark there was Neil, but couldn't quite pluck it. Now it's anyone's ball here for the moment. This is probably going to be a stoppage here. Umpire calls it. So ball up, probably about 50 metres out from goal here for Upwey Tecoma.
Harry Warren's kicked the first goal against Pakenham. They're leading early, Aidan.
Here we go. Ball tapped out again there by Roach. Ball coming just towards our broadcast position here. Eventually getting it out there is Daniel Taylor. Kick doesn't hit anyone in particular. It was in the direction of Clark, but just couldn't quite mark it. And the ball just bobbling around again. But eventually Upwey Tecoma can get the ball moving forward here. They're inside the 40-metre arc, trying to take the mark there. It's been paid to Bailey Oates. So a bit interesting there. It looked like it might have been a bit of a Yorker, but the umpire's happy to pay it. So Oates is going to line up from about 35 out on a slight angle. And this for Upwey Tacoma's 5th goal of the afternoon and an 18-point lead. Mount Evelyn 19, lead Wandon 14, Morellic 6, trail Alinda Ferny Creek 13, Aidan. As Oates begins his approach, it's a pretty good looking kick. Goal umpire not moving. And it's another goal for the home side. A score here at Upwey Tecoma, 5-0-30 to Officer, 2-0-12.
And that's his second goal as well. 17 minutes gone, quarter number 1. And my goodness gracious me, it's going to be a bit of a hellish start there. Also, good game, Mount Evelyn, 19-14 over Wandon. Not sure if you did that one as well.
I did, Leo.
And did you do Alinda Ferny Creek?
I did.
I should be listening.
Yes. Yarra Glen 8 leading Belgrave 0, Berwick Springs 13 leading Emerald 6, Seville 14 leading Gibrook Cockatoo 1.
Oh, that can't be right. Mustang threw the ball up in the air once again, just getting a fresh air shot out of the air was Peduto of Upwey Tecoma. A little handball, or was it a throw to Benny Hinton? Got a quick kick out of the pack. I don't know how he got his foot into that, but he's done well. Bailey Oates gets the ball in front of the scoreboard again, goes to handball with his right hand twice, and then decides not going to give it a kick, and it's a lovely pass across there to Jethro Finesse, and that could almost have been a 25-metre penalty. Bit of a push after the marking contest. Looks a very accomplished player, this young man is, and the way he just goes about things. Good delivery of the football. A couple of kicks that he's had so far. He's only about 20 metres out, pretty much directly in front. What else for us there, Liam?
Warburton 32, leading Broadford Yea 13. King Lake have kicked 5 behinds and they're trailing Yarra Junction 8. No scores available from Alexandra and Powtown as of yet.
Well, it takes a long time to come down that mountainside, so Von Hess directly in front, should not.
6 straight.
Holds the line, and goal umpire Costa says that's not a problem. 6 straight, 36, Upwey Tecoma. Offers a 2 straight, 12, 18.5 minutes gone, quarter number 1, Liam.
You're going to run out of room on your paper already, I can tell.
I'm going to have to write smaller.
Yeah,
I'm going to run out of room too, I reckon.
Good day to take the overs.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, goodness gracious me. So great start by both sides, really, and had a pretty good pace. Can they keep it up?
Yeah, ball back in the middle. Umpire has been very good early too. On point. Joel back in the ruck that time for Officer. There's Bernardo. He got a quick handball forward. Just bounced in front of his teammate. Here's Hancock, who's kicked a goal already. They're kicking to the Burwood Highway into the ground. Just slipped through the hands there of Marvis. It comes to Crown. They could be in a little bit of bony rubble here, Upwey Tecoma. But the ball's locked inside the Officer 40. And we're going to have a ball up. Can they get the next goal, Officer? Going to be important. They're don't want to fall too far behind. 4-goal margin early. Roach decisively got rid of Chol. Chol will get the ball at ground level and sink the boot into it. And I'll tell you what, that is a magnificent shoe. Mark taken by Oates, plays on straight away, gave it to Beacom. Beacom's kicks a blubber, but it might just come off. This is Waters. Waters bends it around the body, and there's the first blemish of the afternoon.
Drag him.
Through 4-0 behind.
Take him off. He didn't have the robotic style there, and unfortunately had to kick it all unnatural. So 37 leads 12 at the moment, 20 minutes gone. Quarter number 1. Fullback doesn't know what to do because they haven't had to kick it out just yet. Gets told to play on now by umpire Walters. Goes out to the tennis court side of the ground. This man's been busy, hasn't he? Bernardo would have been up to his 10th possession at least, I would think. Would love to square the game up, but nothing there.
You've already sworn today, Leo. No.
What's that?
You've already sworn today.
Okay, I won't do it again. Right in the centre of the ground, goes long down to the full forward area. Nobody can pick this football up. They rove it well, do Upwey Tecoma. All alone on the centre wing. The young man there in Wex picks it up. Oh, he stopped there, gives it across now. We're going to go short, right in front of the crowd here. And Bailey Oates also been very prolific at the moment. Often running once more. This is one of the Hintons and Keenan. Goes straight back to centre half forward. And really, that's a poor kick. And the big fella in Roach takes an uncontested mark.
Yeah, Roach, he's been good early too. Good to have him back to a groin injury. That was an interesting kick. That put Wester under a little bit of pressure and barging his way through that time is Daniel Ellett in the long sleeves. They could be out through the middle of the ground. Here's Smaush. He'll slam the ball inside 40, or not quite actually. Bounces in front of his opponent who slaps it forward very intelligently. This is Waters. Haven't seen much of him early. This is Oates again there. They'll go inside their 40, although that kick's a grubby. Waters snaps it around the body, but there's just Rouge jumpers back there, although Upwey Tecoma made a good contest of it, and they're going to kill it over the line here, I think, and they do for a boundary throw in front of the people. And the canteen. Aidan, have you had lunch yet?
No, I haven't.
Get some salad rolls, mate. They are magnificent
down there at half time, I reckon.
Ball about to be tossed back in. It's about 30 out from the Tigers' goal. 6-1 they've kicked already, and we're into time on. Roach was worked. He's worked to the back there that time by his opponent. It's near the boundary line once again. Got a couple of heads in the way. Couldn't quite see it. It's gone out of bounds for a throw in. Aidan, you can have a go.
So boundary throw in once again. About 40 metres out from goal here for Upwey Tecoma. We've had a very good start to this game. Certainly wouldn't mind another goal or two going into the first change. And it's Beacom and Roach in the ruck. Beacom on the tap down. He got it to Hinton. Now the ball spills along the ground. Smolcher's going to get there first, but he's under pressure straight away. Well, slip the tackle there from Wicks. And they can that's not a very good kick at all. It's in the Bernardo direction, but straight over his head. And Taylor takes the ball. He gets the ball forward here. And it is Hinton with the ball here, and I think he's going to back himself in for a set shot. As we say, the arcs are only 40 metres, so distance shouldn't be a problem on about a 45-degree angle.
I'd probably kick this.
Liam's backing himself in. I'm not so sure if he would, but nonetheless, Benny Hinton lines up 40 metres out, slide angle. Nice and neat approach. Creates a bit of an arc, and it's just missed to the near side, I think. And yes, goal umpire signals behind, so another behind here for the Tigers. Score now 6-2-38 to 2-0-12. The home team still with a pretty strong lead here. 26 points it is now. And O'Loughlin will bring the ball back into play, Leo.
Yeah, he's gone across to Bernardo. No one's been on him yet. He's just had a lot of all. Look at that. Tries to put a big barrel. Goes right in the centre of the ground. Nobody can hang on to that. A little bit of a tap forward by Upwey Tecoma. A little handball by Beacom. Finds his teammate and goes to him. Oh, pass. Right in the centre of the forward 50 or forward 40. For a very good pass indeed. And the singer who kicked that footy, but it was well done. A nice little pass taken there.
How far back do you want to go, Carmen? Got a fair way back.
Certainly has. 20 metres out, pretty much directly in front. Coming in now, this is Picaro. And I think he's straightened things out after two behinds that have been kicked. And Carmine Picaro has kicked his first goal. And just like you said, Aidan, a nice little goal coming into quarter time. 7-2-44, leading Officer 2 straight 12. And we've been going 24 minutes in the first quarter. So just a nice spot up there, wasn't it? Right in the middle of that forward arc. I keep calling it the 50. We know it's 40. Doesn't make any difference. And they've done it quite well. And I think Benny Hinton's been very solid coming through the middle. Bailey Oates also terrific. Like you said, Jackson Waters hasn't had a lot of it, but he's done it a little bit since he's found the ball now. And they're playing some pretty strong wingers out here. You've got Keenan Hinton sitting on one wing over here on the pavilion side of the ground. He's a very good, hard, strong football. Umpire Walters chucks it up in the air once again. This time it's Child got the lovely little tap out there. Bernardo picks it up once more. He's on his left foot. Oh, didn't want to give it. He's gone now. Oh, he's got the free kick for in the back. Oh, he's lucky to get that. Probably could have pinged him for throw in the first place. Did get pushed in the back secondary.
The only problem with that free kick being paid now, Leo, is everyone gets to flood back.
Well, they do indeed. Well, he hasn't got the footy yet, Liam, has he?
No,
there he goes.
Does now.
And you're right, they're all back, bar one. See what you can do with it.
So Bernardo has it, probably disposal number 13 to be completely honest. Picaro was slammed into Schmate there. Could have done some real damage to him if he wanted to, but this is Schmate with the man bun. You go down the line, high school side. It's 3-on-1, going back with the fly to the footy and trying to bring it down was Wicks. He affected the contest though. Free kick.
Yeah, Jackson Waters.
Going the way. Thank you, Leo.
Sorry, mate, I'm just thinking aloud.
Force a habit.
Yeah, it is a habit. I've been away for a couple of weeks, mate. I've been rusty.
So, to the middle. It was a dangerous pass. Going back onto it and picking it up nicely was Wilson. Wilson's kick was okay to Hellier. They could be through here. Bernardo is still there. They might go backwards to go forwards here, although this time Von Hess goes with a nice, massive tumbler. Gets to about 30, just ran out of room for Sinclair. Comes out the back, handball comes to Burrows, and they're just playing around with the footy a little bit too much here. But that's going to go to the boundary line, you would think, and yet it does eventually for a throw in. So, ball in neutral territory, tennis court side. In it goes now. Chol had the back, but tapped it down straight to a Kangaroos jumper, although that kick's come undone. And it's been turned over. The mark's been taken by Waters, who handballed straight away to Wilson. Wilson kicks to about 40. Coming in from the back there that time was Westra. He was impressive the last time we saw him play against Monbolk, and a free kick's been found for a hold. Going the way of the Tigers, and they'll have another chance to load inside the 40 here. They've just got to find a target. Have they got any movement? There's two moving. Picaro again taking a mark.
Good diving mark. It was a good little kick too. I think that might have been young Wicks put that in there. One of the juniors have come up into senior football this week or last few weeks. Just about on quarter time too, Liam. So
it'll probably go 30 plus minutes, you reckon, Leo, with 9 kick potentially for 10 here. As Picaro's on the approach, young lad who came across from the South Belgrave Footy Club, won a senior premiership there a couple of years ago. He's come up way to Tecoma now. Kick is on the way. Goal umpire shuffles a little bit, and it's just gone across the face for a behind.
Must have thought it might have been hitting the goalpost. I think it looked straight up and down the post. Nonetheless, it is a behind. 7-3-45. Two straight Upwey in ascendancy at the moment. 27 and a bit gone. Back on the centre wing. Pavilion side the green. Upwey going to pay that. I wouldn't have thought it was cricket. Doing Wilson with it. Wants to go back through the middle of the ground. Run through the centre circle now. Straight up the middle of the ground. A bunch of players. The tallest player there couldn't hang on to it, and Beacom. Been picked up there and rove quite well for his smolch of officer. And finds a teammate on the tennis court side of the ground. Wants to play on straight away. Been called to do so straight away as well. That was Hancock, who's already kicked one goal in this particular quarter over the back of the pack. Going for an interesting mark there was Child. Couldn't hang on to it. And it's been touched and it's gone out of bounds in front of the bowling club.
You haven't played there, have you?
No, I haven't played at the Upwey Bowling Club, no. Synthetic greens there too, I believe. You throw in, up she goes. All the different grasses you can get. Roads out of the pack, and officer can get into that forward 25 or forward 40 at the moment. Can't do too much with it. Thompson's in there as well. I think there's a whistle for play. Free kick, going to go the way of Upwey Tecoma. Defending Greenley. They're trying to switch play. Coming to the V inside the ground. Absolutely nobody there at all for Upwey. Picking it all up pretty much unattended was Taylor. And got tangled up a little bit there. Falls over at inappropriate time there. His teammate and marks. Upwey with numbers as the siren does sound, which is only gone for 28 and a half. Liam, I thought it may have gone a bit longer myself. With all those goals kicking. It is quarter time here at the Silver Dome, and we find after a very good first quarter, Upwey Tecoma, 7-3-45, a leading officer, 2 straight. Leading goal kickers on the park. Liam, you've got them, have you?
Yep, Oates with 2, Waters with 2, Singles 2, Beacom, Picaro and Von Hess.
And what we might do is quickly go back to the studios of Yarraville FM, or do you want to do some scores from around town?
No, Aidan, sorry, is taking notes for external things.
Okay, not a problem. We might get some scores before we go for a little bit of a break and see what's happening in and around town. And
Premier Division scores, Pakenham, Narry Warren, Narry 6-137. Pakenham are yet to score. Mount Evelyn, Wandon, Mount Evelyn 3-1-19, trailing to Wandon 6-4-40. And over at Wooriallic 2-2-14, Alinda Fernie Creek 3-4-22. We'll have a look at Division 1. Belgrave 117, trailing Yarra Glen 3-4-22. Berwick Springs have got a bit of a jump on Emerald, 6-1-37 to Emerald 2-0-12. And Gembrook Cockatoo 0-1-1, trailing Seville 3-2-20. We'll have a look now at Division 2. Broadford Yea 3-1-19, trailing at Warburton Millgrove 5-3-33. So
pretty close.
Yeah, they're hanging in there. Broadford Yea. Yarra Junction 3-4-22 are leading Kinglake 1-5-11, and we still have no score from Alexandra.
No, they'll come down. It's come down via Pigeon, I think, Aidan. So what we might do in the meantime is go back to the studios of Yarra Valley FM for our quarter-time break. Be back here in a very short time. Thanks, Alan.
So we'll see what happens here in the second quarter, Leo.
Certainly will do, and be umpire Sophie Maystang to get us going in the quarter at number 2. Sun shining brightly here at the Silver Dome. Well, shining in half of it. Of course, the big trees are blocking the other. So we'll go and start off. Aidan, off you go.
And it's... that time being the tap there was Wheels, and the ball goes inside forward 50 straight away here for Officer. No mark can be taken. And ball just bobbling around right now. Had possession of the ball there was Von Hess. And ball going with a long kick out now, but good defensive mark taken that time by Lachlan. So Lachlan assesses his options. And that's not a bad kick. It's just over the head though of his teammate there in McGeach. And now Upwey Tecoma with a chance to counter-attack. The kick just over the top there of Bernardo trying to intercept. And the ball just trickling towards the boundary line. Keeping the play there was Beacom. And now a chance here. Hinton. Nice little kick here. It's just going to make it, is it? No, couldn't quite take the mark there. That time was Taylor. So it's going to be thrown in about 30 metres out from goal here for Upwey Tecoma.
Yeah, I think that might have been Daniel Waters, wasn't it? Who went sliding over the boundary line.
Oh, no! Got a streaker on the field, Leo.
Oh, a bit cold for that. Oh, yeah. It's amazing the 5 securities didn't go and grab him. Edge, 2 foot high.
Just thumping the ball out to the broadcast side of the ground here. It's Hinton again, but he's taken it a gang tackle. And they lock it up, and it's going to be balled up here. Very interesting.
Well, enthusiastic. Wants to play footy. Enthusiastic. Let me out there.
That's it. That's it.
Put the kid back in the rack for the day.
I think we qualify for the under 3s, I think, Alan. Great effort. So we've ignored the footy, but it's going to be a secondary ball up.
Free kick going the way.
Free kick. Okay, sorry. We're looking at the other
that's all right, Leo.
We're watching the important part down here at the Vic Wrestling stand. A couple of escapees.
Ball to the broadcast side here. A couple of Tigers players were sitting underneath it. Bernardo wasn't happy with the delivery of the ball there. It was Waters with the ball who kicks it onto the cricket pitch. I haven't bowled any overs here, funnily enough. Kicks it to Sinclair now.
That's because it's footy season.
Thank you, Leo. I think you'd get one back on me at some stage. Orenshaw kicks inside 50, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Just walking down, kick it if you wanted to. Oh, he could have just kept going.
Mark has been taken by Waters, who's directly in front. He'll slam this out onto Burwood Highway, I think.
I reckon if I was Daniel Allett, I think I'd start starting to rubbing my hammy, I think.
We'll blame that, yes.
Yeah, here we go.
Anyway.
This could go all the way to Gembrook.
Could do, yeah. Could end up in a river.
Yep. No, straight into the net. What a good thing that is, eh? 3 goals there to the big fella there.
It's wonderful invention.
8 goals, 351 with it halfway home, aren't they? And 2 straight, Officer. And we've only been going once again about 2.5 minutes. This time in the second quarter, it was a lovely kick. Just found himself on the right side of his opponent, and those kamikaze kicks or dirty footballs as they come in, if you're in front, you've got a pretty good chance of getting that clunkety clunk behind us as they're coming in and out the door. It's not quite as bad as last week when you had someone trying to get in the door as well. Boys, up she
all
went.
Sorts of languages.
There we go. Roach got it out. Last little tap out to Lukey Smalls. Can they get out of here? Obviously they can't. Bailey Yates just a bit too strong. Gets in and underneath. Gets a pick up there. Sinclair got a bit tackled at the same time. Gave across to a teammate with a lovely little pass there by Costas, but couldn't be marked by Porcano, unfortunately.
It
has been paid. I thought it hit the ground.
Been a lot of sliding marks.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go to the video replay if I was playing cricket, Liam.
Yeah, that's it. A lot of sliding marks going inside the 50. They're getting down and dirty up, but
absolutely. Yeah. So we've got to kick this about 40. He's got to run in 30. So that's 70.
Yeah, I said to Carwin if he kicks 5 today, I'll interview him.
Here we go.
This is for 2.
From the right on the 40-metre mark, it looks like a beautiful kick. He made the distance. Absolutely no problems whatsoever.
3 more, son.
He's kicked 2. I think he just pointed up to you there too.
Don't blame me.
9 goals, 57. Bit of a high score. 2 straight, 12. Officer, we've been going nearly 4 minutes in quarter number 2. Who are you pointing at there, Aiden?
I was just pointing at the Indian miner, just staring Liam in the face there. It was quite interesting as the ball goes back into the centre. It's going to be Weezer and Roach in the ruck again. And Weezer just winning the tap down to no one in particular. Bernardo runs onto it first. Handball doesn't quite hit the target there, but eventually getting onto it was Neil. Ball just bobbling on the outer side of the ground here. No clear possession. Couple of handballs here, and they're just going to bring the ball back inboard. Not a bad kick, and it hits up Von Hess. So he just assesses his options. Handball put his teammate under a bit of pressure, but they might work it out here. Yes, they do now. Oates. Good kick here, and they've worked that out pretty well there up by Tecoma. Momentary pressure, but they've done pretty well. So this is not a bad kick here. Again, another sliding mark. We've seen plenty of those today already. Good thing they're not wearing the white shorts. They'd be pretty dirty at the moment. Bacon's got the ball now. He just goes with a chip kick inside 50. It's a beauty. And another shot at goal coming up here for Upwey Tecoma. That was a beautiful bit of play through the middle of the ground.
There's Daniel Waters once again.
So the big fella Waters, he's already kicked 3 goals this afternoon. This is for 4. He is probably 20 metres out, bit of an angle about it, but the way he's been kicking today, you wouldn't be too worried about it. Liam's already writing it down as a goal.
No, I'm not.
Pretty good looking kick. Goal umpire shuffles back a little bit, but it's straight over the goal umpire's cap. It's another goal. And Upwey Tecoma stretch their lead to 51 points. 10-3-63, plays 2-0-12. Waters has kicked 4.
Oh, well.
Starting to get a bit...
Yeah, they've got to find another match up there. It's just outsized at the moment, isn't he, Ellett? And a big job asking of Daniel Ellett to play on a player like Daniel Waters. He's a big man. He's quite quick for a big fella as well. And the delivery coming in, like you mentioned, Aiden, very, very hard to combat.
Anyway, ball back in the middle. Carlton out to a 15-point lead against Fremantle as well at the other dome, which is in the city. Ball comes to ground. Another centre clearance this time for Upwey Tecoma, courtesy of Weiser. Kicks to about 50, slipping and sliding and tumbling there was Hinton. Gets a handball off time to Von Hess. Sounds like a dance name or something. And he's kicked to about 38 metres, was pinpointed. The mark's been taken by Beacom, although it was a push in the back, so it's a free kick going to the Roos. We need to kick the next one just to stem the flow, as they would say in the media. Kick to the interchange bench wing. Fell between Matthews and his opponent. Ball comes out the back. Umpire has found a free kick. It's been good today early. Yep. Free kick will be going to Wicks. To the tight shorts. Looks like Roll Kappa. Kicks to about 35. Who's out the back here? Just a Roos jumper. Big Roach. He's returned from injury. Looks to switch play to a good partner in crime in Bernardo, who thought he probably had more room, but no, that's the boundary line.
It's called the fence.
And he kicks backwards and finds Schmate, the man bun.
Just got cleaned up by the catcher sign.
Kick to centre wing. Wicks dropped a mark he probably should have taken. Roach there to pick the ball up rather nicely, I thought. Here's McReach. Handball found a bit of grass right in front of us, neutral territory. It's going to be a bit of a scrap to try and get the ball out. Oh, Wicks did a blind turn magnificently. Handball was to Matthews. He just fumbled at an inopportune time, but still did quite well to get rid of it. Ball now in the middle. They're trying to run it forward here, Officer. Now they might have a chance. It gets to about 55 out. There could be a bit of a crunching bump here. Got the handball away. They could still have a chance here, Officer. With the football there, that time was Maloney. And the umpire calls for a ball up. They're inside the 40. Officer here, Aiden.
Yeah, no prior opportunity there at all. And right in front of the what used to be the old pavilion, for want of a better term. Up they go once again. Weezer got the tap out. Is that Bernardo down there as well? He's all over the place at the moment. It's gone out of bounds for a throw in. It is too. He's been all over the place, hasn't he, Bernardo? Plenty of the football doing his job there for Officer. Can they score out of this? It's inside their forward 50. Big of a roundhouse slap out there by Bryce of Officer. It's in that forward area there. Little handball came out from Jackson Waters. Went to an opponent. Kicking over his head, having a bit of a snapshot. That looks brilliant. I reckon Rogers has kicked that. He has. So Matty Rogers puts his first goal on the board. A bit of a floater, but she floated straight through. Kicking straight, luckily for that too. 3 straight 18. Officer, they trail Upwey Tecoma 10-3-63. We've been going 8.5 minutes, quarter number 2. Bit of a beauty. That one over the left shoulder.
That was reminiscent of Nick Malcheski early in the 2012 grand final. That on the left boot.
Yeah, a lot of Collingwood supporters remember that, wouldn't they? Was it Collingwood who played?
No, 20 hours Hawthorn 2012.
Hawthorn 12, yeah. Yep. That was too. Kicked it over his shoulders. Brilliant. Go 8.
Ball back in the centre again. It's Weezer who wins the tap. And the ball just socket off the ground there. No mark taken. Trying to run onto the ball here now was Costas. But he loses the ball there. Bernardo got in and won it, but he coughed it straight up. And the ball heading back down towards the Gembrook end of the ground, as Leo would say. But once again, it's Officer who got the ball here under a bit of pressure. A couple of turnovers there, and it's going to be thrown in about 45 metres out from Upwey Tecoma's goal. So Roach is going to take the contest here, and Beacom's going to jump in. So I haven't seen Chol for a little bit. He's been off the ground a bit. Weezer's done most of the rucking this quarter. Beacom just going to take this contest here inside the forward 50 or forward 40. I think it was Roach at the front position there who won the tap, but it's Upwey Tecoma who've read it off him. But now I think that's Bernardo who gets a good handball out, and they're looking pretty good here at the moment. But this is a 2-on-1 contest favouring Upwey, and the kick goes out of bounds on the full. It's that narrow wing. We've talked about it before. And they're fallen victim to it once again, Officer. So Upwey Tecoma with the ball again. Ball on the outer side of the ground. A little bit of a chip kick here, finding its way. They've worked this pretty well so far, Upwey Tecoma. They're still not quite inside the arc yet. No mark taken there. Running onto this here is Burrows. He handballs the ball back here to Van Hess. Kick smothered. Van Hess has got it once again. Again, the handball. They've done this okay here, Officer. They've held him off for the time being. Spilled the ball there was Neil. And the ball's locked up, and it's going to be thrown up, and there's a player down here. It's Westra.
Yep.
They've been down for a while too. You're going to have to hold play. It's right around the player. So umpire Lee Wallace will stop play.
Did anyone see what happened there?
No, I think he just twisted a little bit there and just came down a little bit. So just going to have to hold play. A few interchanges is taking place in the meantime.
Yeah, good time to do it, I suppose.
It is indeed. So we hope he's okay. And looks a bit worse for wear too. Hopefully the young man's all right, Josh Westra. He is walking off, limping off. So at least he's up on his feet, which is good to see. The interchange being on. Umpire Walters throws it back up again. Half forward line there for Upwey Tecoma. Roach, the big body, got the tap down for Officer, but it's all been tied up. He's going to have another ball up. Sun shining brightly now down here at Upwey Tecoma, which is good to see. Weezer went up and down in one spot. Roach has stood there and got the tap out. Quick kick come out of the pack. It's been touched off hands. Umpire tells him to play off. A little bit of a high tackle. Made sure the umpire saw it. Was Peduto. Umpire says you did not get rid of it properly. And
he brought it the wrong way originally.
I think he may have as well. Both players have gone back and thought, I'm not sure what's going on. Officer with it. Maloney takes the mark in the centre of the ground. Puts his teammate under a lot of pressure, or he's himself under a lot of pressure. Got a very awkward kick out in the process. Got a little turnover happening as well. Ball fumbling, the ball went off without it. It was young Wicks. Goes back and gets it once more. Coming back to that player there, and Burrows who had it in the first place. Goes into the centre half forward area now. And a bit of a bounce up here at Upwey, which is a rarity in my day. Bounce over the top of the head of Hellier. Comes down to the members' side of the ground. The good mark has been taken by Matthew Rogers.
Members with the footy. Kicked a really good goal about 5 minutes ago.
Certainly did.
Goes backwards to go forwards. They can go from here. This is West to Schmate. Methodical approach here by the Roos. Schmate to the outer side. Ooh, element of risk. Wicks tried to go up. There's should have been a free kick for a hold. Yep, it is.
Nowhere near the footy.
Free kick going to Orenshaw. Go inside 40. Oh, here's Waters again. Oh, my Lord.
So, he's having a bit of a field day at the moment, isn't he, Daniel Waters? Kicked the 4 goals.
4-1.
Pretty tight angle here, though.
None out on the full.
None out of the full, no.
Nope.
So, Dan Warner's for sausage roll number 5. Kick is on the way.
Oh, no.
Oh, I thought that went out before.
So did I. Yeah. Confusion between Bantry and goal umpire there.
4 in the afternoon, 10-4, 64, 3 straight 18. And 13 and a half gone.
Straight down the middle of the ground. This is a good long kick by Officer at a full back there. Been taken in thin air by Allett. It seems to have been moved off the ground, up the ground a little bit. Probably says, thank goodness. Oates has got it now. Puts it in the open spaces right near that 40-metre arc. And it's gone out of bounds in front of the rock wall. and it's going to be a throw in.
Speaking of that rock wall, that would scare me.
That scares me.
If you're running full pelt near the boundary line towards that rock wall and you think, gee, I could do some damage here.
We've got the concrete curb before it as well. That's just going to stop you a little bit and trip you up and put your head straight into it. It is a very dangerous thing. We do worry about it all the time. Back in our day, it was just dirt and rocks. Wasn't so bad. You landed in the mud.
Back in the 70s, Aidan.
Yeah, it was.
Well, back in 1976.
Well, you'll get old one day, you too. You'll have to live that long. Handball over the top. Officer chasing the ball right at interchange gates. And it has gone out of bounds for a throw in.
Could have run into the brick wall.
Yes, it's sandstone, so it's not quite so hard. It's not like bluestone. Throw in, centre wing. Member side of the ground, sun shining brightly. Good crowd in as well. Roach just taps it down. It's been rucking well for Officer, but they can't make too much of it. The land ball comes out. The old 1-2 and bang, he ran straight into that did Allett. Umpire lets him play on. And the mark's been paid this time to Amibus. Wants to go short, the centre half forward. Just makes it in time there. There's Marks. Right at the end of the cricket pitch. 50 plus out. Wants to go long. No, decides to switch it towards the pavilion side of the ground. Oh, I had 2 grabs at it. Maloney couldn't hang on to it. Trying to pick the football up there is Wilson of Upwey Tecoma. Sitting on top of it, both players. The umpire will have no alternative but to ball it up. So we're inside forward. 40 for Olinda, right in front of the pavilion.
For Olinda?
Olinda, officer, I beg your pardon.
Go on, Aidan.
They just get the ball out of the defensive 50 here to Upwey Tecoma. The kick to a 1-on-1 contest here. Running onto it first here is Schmate. The ball just trickling towards the outer side of the ground here, but keeping it in play there was Burrows. Burrows just goes back to go forwards. Running into a little bit of danger here, but they've done this okay here Upwey Tecoma, but can't take clean position. This is Oates. Burrows once more. They're inside the forward 40 here. Is that going to hit the target? Yes, it does, but it falls short. And this is Bernardo, and they're going to get it out of defensive 50 here for the time being. Officer, that's not a great kick though. Straight to a bunch of the Upwey Tecoma players here. This is Wicks. It looks like he's got the shirt tucked in for the moment here. That's to a 2-on-1 contest favouring Officer. Bernardo with another disposal. He keeps the ball in play. Probably could have taken it out under enough pressure. And that's holding the ball. So Upwey Tecoma, you think are going to go inside forward 40 here, with the ball here is Sinclair. He just assesses his options. Goes with a bit of a lateral pass here, and it's turned over. I think that's Schmate on the end of that one.
Had a good second quarter.
Yes.
He's done pretty well here, and just taken the ball. That's an absolute daisy cutter of a kick. And they still managed to make it work though to Officer. This is in the direction here this time of Schmaltz, and Schmaltz takes the mark. And I reckon they'll be inside forward 40 in a second here. Another short kick this time here to Clark. So Clark, just a slow build up here. He wants to go the handball. Oh, it's missed the target. It was intended for Rockland, but it's going to go out of bounds. So Bandry thrown in front of our broadcast position here.
A daisy cutter.
Yep, that's it, a daisy cutter. It's Roach and Chol on the ruck. Roach with front position, wins the tap. Bernardo's onto it, but it'll sock it away there by Chol. And they've just had possession of the ball here for this last minute here, Officer. They just need to get the ball forward. Now, this might be the opportunity. They're going to go inside forward 40 here with this kick here. It's not in a bad position. It's in the direction here of Marks. Marks couldn't mark it, though. He picks it up now, though. He's under a bit of pressure, and they're going to get it away here, Leo.
They certainly do, and they got along the tennis court side of the ground, very close to the boundary line. Upwey got a few runners there. Waters picks it up, and that's Jackson. Gives it to teammate, and that's one of the Hintons on say. All got dragged down after he marked the football. Umpire says, stand up, you two. Liskey dragged his opponent down the ground. Looks like Keenan Hinton goes into that forward 40. Once again, up they go. Nobody can take that mark. Umpire lets him play. A little bit of a throw out the back of the pack, and lands it straight into the hands. Is that Bailey Oates with it? I think it might have been. He's gone, thank you very much. And he's gone bang, puts it straight through the middle for his third goal. And another errant handball turnover, costly to Officer. As Upwey go on to their merry way. 11-4. What's that? 70. Well, 3 straight 18. And we've been going 18 and a half minutes in quarter number 2. So costly little turnovers, costing Officer a big time.
Yeah, they are indeed.
What's happening around town? You got any of those happening, or are you just looking at the AFL?
Still 15-point lead to Carlton at at half time, I should say.
I've got scores from around the ground here, Leo. Narry Warren 6-3, leading Pakenham 2-1-13. Wandon now got a bit of a jump here on Mount Evelyn, 10-6-66, leading Mount Evelyn 5-2-32. Bit of a close one out there at Woori. Woori 5-4-34 to Alinda Ferny Creek 4-6-30. That's the Premier Division scores.
Okay. It's gone out of bounds near the scoreboard. Keep going, Aidan.
There's Division 1, Belgrave ahead of Yarra Glen, 5-3-33 to Yarra Glen 3-8-26. Berwick Springs still with the lead there against Emerald. I think, again, that breeze is working there at Mick Ball in reserve because Emerald are back in the game now, 7-1-43 to 6-0-36. Gembrook Cockatoo have got the lead against Seville, Leo, 5-4-34.
Bernardo's just had a shot on goal.
20.
Gone out in the fall again. Sorry, Aidan.
Here we go. And lastly, Division 2 scores. Broadford Yea 3-1-19 trailing Auburn and Millgrove 8-8-56. Yarra Junction 5-4-34, leading 1 point against King Lake 4-9-33. And Alexandra ahead of Powelltown in the second quarter, 7-3-45 to Powelltown 5-8-38.
Thank you very much, Aidan. Short kick finds Wales in the defensive half. Kicks on there. They might be up away through the highway. Here's Waters. He takes a couple on. Kicks to the middle. Here's Shoal, although that's going to be a free kick downfield. So
they had the turnover too, Liam.
The recipient can't quite make it out. I think it might have been Burrows who was the recipient. He kicks to the far pocket. Mark taken that. He's Ben Hinton. Short pass on. Picaro again. No, not that time. Throw in. Well, Bowles side.
Good day for Bowles too, boys.
Yeah, no, you might be tempted to go have a couple of sets or something over there after we're done here.
Not being biased. Throw in. In the area there, Joel got very, very high or kicked out the pack and it's had to ping it. Not bad effort either. That was by Peduto. Has put it through for a behind. With a great little snap out of that. 11-5-71 now. Upwey Tecoma, 3 straight 18 officer. We've been going 21 minutes, quarter number 2. Need to get him a goal, Liam.
There we do. There's Schmate. Very impressive second quarter. Been a rock solid man in defence, although he's coughed it up. And the mark has been taken by Hellier. He goes short and he's coughed it up.
Playing kick to kick at the moment.
Yeah, give it to me. I'll give it back to you. So, officer in their defence.
Good point.
Hold up.
There we go. Go over there. I'm going to kick it here.
Smolsh. Goes short. Oh, gee, he's coughed it up too, has he? Not quite, because it fell in the hands of Ellett. And the umpire will call for it. Have a ball up by G. 11-5, plays 3 straight. 21.5 minutes gone in the second. Ball up in the air. Nice jump and leap that time by Bryce. He got the ball down to ground. It's gone forward a little bit for Officer. That's a good tackle, but you've got to be careful with those ones. That's how you knock yourself out. Comes to out the back to Marks and those flashy pink boots. Got to be careful not to get your opponent in the back there. Umpire will play on the ball. She has.
Not trying to get it out.
No.
It's a good effort there by the Upwey player because sort of did a bridge over the top, not to push him in the back, and I think that might have been Orenshaw.
Kick to the outer side, broadcast side. Wiles plays on. He'll thump the ball inside 40. That's a strong lead, although it could have had a little bit too much mustard on it. Although I've been proven wrong. His Waters has been ultra impressive. Already kicked the 4 today, but that kick probably should have been marked.
Probably could have been, and it wasn't.
And otherwise, it's been tumbling back down the hill for a throw in.
Yep, certainly has. So the change has been made now. Thompson with the duties on Daniel Waters. So right just outside 40. Throw in. Gembrook into the ground here at Upwey Tecoma. Has been knocked out there by Beacom. Running an open goal and a bit of a check side. Daniel Waters, he's actually done really well there. Running through for the handball received. 3 goals this quarter, 5 for the game. Doing it nicely at the moment. So go to 12-5, 77 Upwey Tecoma. Leading officer, 3 straight 18, 23 minutes gone. Aidan, take it away because I think we've got some special comments coming our way.
Yeah, that was a magnificent bit of roving there by the big fella, Waters. And the ball goes to the centre here. What has Jason got to say?
Jingo by Crikey.
Exactly.
Yeah, there we go.
Some of the more profound words have come out of Jason's text fingers,
He's
actually.
excited. Ball back in the middle here. In the ruck there, that time was Bryce and Weezer. And no clear possession here for the moment. Trying to get in there. Winner that time was Von Hess. And they do get it out here again, Upwey Tecoma. So they're going to go inside forward 40 once again. Oh, strong hands. That time it was Beacom. He doesn't want to. He's going to go to the big fella Waters. He's got it.
He's a colossus.
He is absolutely dominating this game at the moment here. He's unstoppable.
Taking a bit of P1.
And Tanner Thompson says, I didn't want to come to full back. Imagine a runner coming out saying, Liam, go back to full back and sit on Daniel Waters for a while.
I'd refuse.
So Waters 25 metres out, 45-degree angle.
For a half dozen.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tight angle for a right footer, but let's see how he goes. That looks pretty good. Goal umpire's not moving. He's kicked another one. He's got 6. Daniel Waters, this is an unbelievable performance. 6 goals, and we've only played a half a footy.
Might have found me after-game interview.
Yep, that's it.
I think that thing sitting behind me, that yellow thing there, could belong to him already from last time. I'm not quite sure.
The pressure washer.
I think so. I'll have to ask the head boss, Cameron, a bit later on. But
I got asked last week, why was he called Pretzel?
when he was young, he was built like a stick and built like a... Did you ever see him run?
No.
Did you ever see a baby giraffe get up?
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh.
Back in the centre circle, up by Mustang. She plays the ball up in the air once again, and they get another little tap out. Oates goes through there. Can't quite pick it up. They get the breakthrough officer. Can they score out of here? Centre wing, right in front of the pavilion. Nobody can pick the ball up at the moment. Oates does. Tucked one tackle. He's a strong young man. Gave across to a teammate there in Von Hess. He does not panic at all. I reckon you should call him stressless, not Von Hess, because he certainly doesn't look fussed at all. Goes back through the centre of the ground through officer, and the good mark's been taken here by Rogers. There's a little bounce. Can you believe that? Wants to handball it. Nobody's there to receive it, so he has a secondary bounce and a tertiary one. Now he gets him straight in the man in front of him. Turns it over. We should have another go. Here we go. Little handball once again. Does he get it back? No, he's a bit pooped now. Elliot's up there. Picked up this time and going around circles. Chamat goes right in the centre of the ground. Up in the air she goes, and Penny Hinton is going to be paid the mark. Penny Hinton does get paid that. Right in the centre here of the Silver Dome.
Yeah, so Hinton plays on, kicks to the outer side. It's a good kick too. A little bit of open space found. What's the next kick going to do? Allows time for a few officer defenders to get back, and the kick has found Picaro again.
Well, Daniel Waters puts his hand up. Says, I stand on my own here.
You've already kicked 6, mate. That's enough. So Picaro's right in front of the Bowls Club side here. Deep, I'll tell you what, deep in the pocket. Real difficult kick here.
I've seen a few goals from this pocket though.
Yeah, we have. Both sides of the ground as Jason just texts in again. Picaro's on his approach. I'll let him read it out in a second. And the kick has gone left and stays left through for a behind. 2-2 on the afternoon for Picaro, and it's now 13-6 to 3 straight, 26 and a bit minutes gone. What did it say, Leo?
Well, Jason also remembers Pretzel. He's now just a dad body with a cheese stick. Oh. Thanks, Jason. I hope Cameron's not listening.
Not standing behind us.
Oh, he's not behind us. Oh, yeah, they're coming in from fullback Aiden.
As the ball just heads to the outer side of the ground there. Oh, broadcast side, really, I should say. It's thumped out of bounds, so boundary throw in.
Doesn't matter, does it? They play out a full back now. It's not a free kick.
No, that's it. So ball thrown back into play. It's Weezer and Roach in the ruck. Roach got front position, but it was Weezer who run the tap. Running onto the ball here was Von Hess. Ball tucked into the boundary line, throwing the ball onto the boot there was Matthews. He's found a target. Oh, Picaro having another shot. Oh, that's another goal. Can you believe that? Oh, Daniel Waters, he's kicked 7 in the first half. This is unbelievable. The lead is 72 points. The score here at Upwey, 14-6-90 to Officer 3-0-18. Daniel Waters is having an absolute day out. He's kicked 7, and he's not done yet, Leo.
Well, he wasn't really expecting to get that football. It just come off the boot a bit wobbly from Picaro, but landed straight in the hands of Daniel Waters. And as he's turned around, there was no one in front of him except the chef, so he kicked it straight into him for another goal. So 5 this quarter, 7 for the game, and just having a ball.
Ball goes back in the middle again. No one really won the tap there, and the ball bobbling around to the ground. Picking it up here is the other Smolch, the Luke variety. And it's turned over though once again. They're going to move the ball through the middle here at Upwey. This kick heading towards the forward 40. I think it's Schmate who's on the end of that. He's done pretty well there. He plays on straight away, so he wants to go through the middle of the ground, and that's half time. It's a 72-point lead here to the home team. Upwey Tecoma leading by 72 points here. Scores are 14-6-90 to 3-0-18. An absolutely dominant first half there, fellas, by the Tigers.
Well, absolutely, and none more so than Daniel Waters kicking 5 goals in that particular quarter, and he has kicked 7 so far for the game. Other goal kickers, the 100 gamer Liam Beacom's kicked 1, 3 goals to Bailey Oates as well, and 2 to Carmine Picaro, and 4 officer single goal kickers to Jordan Hancock and Daniel Taylor. We'll go back to the studio. We've got any other scores at the moment, boys, before we go back?
have a quick
Try and
little,
get some quick look
we'll
there.
have a quick little look here at the scores around the ground. See if there's any updates. Pakenham trailing by 33 points to Narry Warren, 8-4-52 to 3-1-19. Mount Evelyn trailing by 47 to Wandon, 6-3-39 to 13-8-86. Woorialloc, 8-7-55, leading Alinda Ferny Creek, 4-6-30. Quick look at Division 1. Belgrave still leading Yarra Glen, 6-4-40 to Yarra Glen, 3-8-26. Scores level at Mick Reserve, 7-1-43 apiece. Gembrook Cockatoo still got the lead, Leo, 7-5-47 to 7-5-2-32. Quick look at Division 2. Broadford Yea, 3-2-20, trailing Warburton Millgrove, 8-8-56. Yarra Junction trailing by a point to King Lake, 5-5-35 to 4-12-36. And Alexandra still ahead of Powelltown, 7-4-46 to 5-8-38.
Thanks very much, Aidan. What we'll do now is go back to the studios of Yarra Valley FM for a half-time break. Back here in about 12-15 minutes or so and see what's happening. Thanks, Alan.
The more we can do for Rhett and the more we can do for Lee and supporting that cause would be amazing. I mean, I look at what he's done in local footy. It's akin to the Big Freeze and it's akin to what we see at the AFL level, but of course on a smaller scale. And we haven't had as big an audience. So
absolutely. Well, we're going to kick you out, mate, because the siren, as you can hear, just sounded in the background, and we're underway in the third term. All the best in the second half of your mob, Nick, and we'll see you no doubt at another ground.
Thanks for having me, boys.
You're more than welcome anytime.
Digging deep for Rhett.
Absolutely. Thanks very much. As you could hear the siren sound, it was Mick McLennan, the president of Officer, and the game has started. The ball's gone into the Upwey forward line. It's been marked out here by Officer. We welcome back Liam Vertigan as well. A little pass came out there, and it's been taken by West.
So the headphones are nice and warm.
Good on you, mate. It's been a short pass there and a big hard clash there, and Luke Smolch getting up very gingerly right in the middle of the forward 40 arc. Who's going to give it off now? Handball comes out. Here they go once again. There's Chimack with it. Goes to the centre wing, but unfortunately for him, again on the smaller ground, guys, it's been found out and it's gone out of the full. How was lunch anyway, Liam?
No, I actually didn't. I've already eaten lunch, as you know. I just went downstairs for a chit-chat. Caught Dane Howe, who's up here on the Cricket Life Members Board, a.k.a. my bunny in the local cricket competition.
Oh, here we go.
He's just actually over at the bar, to be honest.
I might get a bit of lunch myself, but nonetheless, it's okay. Just let the old bloke sit here and just starve. It's okay.
Well, Aidan was down there for a while too. He could have taken the interview over.
Here we go. Umpire Mustang, umpiring a first Premier League game. Goes up there, was knocked out by Child, but picked up by Bernardo. Goes very, very short, too short, and Keenan Hinton has taken an uncontested mark, puts it to the top of the 40, turns the ball straight back over. Both these sides have been doing this, and this is the skipper, Benny O'Loughlin.
O'Loughlin with the footy, kicks it to the tennis court side. He's found a teammate there. They'll try and move the ball out of defence. This is McCreesh, who kicks down the line. Oh, a little bit of a leap there from Maloney, but umpire says it was a push. It'll be a free kick going the way of the Tigers. Sun just starting to become a little bit of a problem on there on that outer side layout.
It is indeed, and that's not often something you could happen here at Upwey Tecoma.
So they go through the highway, right up the I-diddle-diddle. They kick inside 450, but Big Shorty Roach is standing underneath that, and he won't drop
Shorty,
that.
that's a...
No, he's a star, mate. Kicks to the outer side. It just had a little bit too much on it that time. They've turned it over again. Here's Hinton. Hinton kicks towards the top of the square, and going back with the flight of the ball was that man Waters, and that's the first rush score of the afternoon, I believe, too.
It is to 14-7, 91 lead. Officer 3 straight, 18-2 and a bit minutes gone. Quarter number 3. And the waft of hot dogs and chips up there in the broadcast booth at the moment.
I think it's a sweet chili tenders filling.
What's happened to real footy food? Come on out there.
I think that was $7, one of those.
My goodness gracious me. Lucky they got F-Plus. Big kick around the corner there by McCreesh. Oh, bang, crunch. Good, solid, strong mark. Taken there by Von Hess.
Sounds like a 17th century composer.
I don't know, sounds like a World War I airline pilot. Back on the centre wing. Could have been the Red Baron, I'm not quite sure. And it's right in front of the pavilion here. It goes over the head there. Could have been in the back to Benny Hinton. Umpire said no. West picks it up right under our nose here in the broadcast booth. Picked up there. Little short kick once again. This time in the hands of Wilson. I love that movie. Goes close to the forward line once more. Picked up this time. Roach gives it out to a teammate. A little handball comes out and they can get out if they want. Chamat was part of that once again. There's the locals are up. They've fumbled it once more. Oh, they're getting into it now. The Raspberry Lemonade. They're starting to kick in. Little kick around the corner there by Picaro has gone for a throw-in. Got a bit of a pole in front of me here, right in that forward pocket. Take it away, Hayden.
Advantage throwing forward pocket here for Upwey Tecoma. It's Beacom and Roach in the ruck. Beacom with front position, but it was Roach who won the tap. He got it down to his teammate there in Hancock. Oh, here we go. Ball just rushed over for another rush behind.
Well, I'm telling you, the locals are getting really excited.
Yeah, well, looking to very important game, of course, between these two sides, sitting 8 and 9 respectively at the moment. And
Lachlan to bring the ball back into play.
Nice kick.
And hits up a teammate here, this time in Smolch. So Smolch kicks the ball to the outer side. I think that's Roach on the end of that kick. It is. He handballs to a teammate. So they get the ball moving here, Officer. That kick just over the head, though, and it's probably going to trickle out of bounds. No, it's kept in play. So they're looking to maybe go for a switch here, Officer. No, they might go up that outer side. That kick hugging the boundary line very tightly. It just stays in play. It's Sam Waters with the ball, the skipper. That's an interesting kick. It works out okay in the end. Here's Sam Waters again. He handballs to the big fella, Chol. Chol with a handball inboard to Sam Waters again. And trying to get in there. That time was Chase Smolch, but couldn't quite get onto it. The ball locked up now. Now it's free. Now it's locked up again. And I think this is going to be a ball up here. No, they do get it out. Chol gets it out, and I think Upwey Tecoma are out here for a second. No, that's a good tackle by Bernardo. And it's holding the ball. So Bernardo going to put them inside forward 40 here, Leo.
Yeah, went back into trouble, then he Keen and Hinton, and you can't do that. Been very good today. Bernardo goes into the forward pocket. At the Jimbrook into the ground, but it's gone out of bounds there, Stewie Hill. The coach just knocking it out of bounds. Well, in fact, it's gone out in the full, is it?
Yeah, it did.
It mustn't have been touched. Gave it across to a teammate in Wilson. They just switched to play. They want to go backwards and forwards. Benny Hinton gets it again. Bounces off his chest. Good enough to get it. Does the old don't argue. Umpire lets him go. Now another good tackle laid. Oh, that incorrect disposal. The umpire just let it go. It's just dropped onto the ground. Bit of weirdness starting to kick into this game already, I feel. There's an opportunity now. Kicking it around the corner. Going very close to the ball behind line post there was Marks. But a big spoil there by the defensive Upwey, and there's plenty of players picking up. Stayed in play over the 1, 2, 3. Umpire says no control. Almost taking the mark there was O'Loughlin, but couldn't hang on to it. And it's gone out of bounds. Centre wing in front of the bowling greens. It's going to be a throw in. So a bit more of a demure start this quarter, boys. We haven't had a goal yet. We've been going 6 minutes.
Roach won the tap from the back of the play there. It went down to ground to Jordan McRae, and now it's going to bobble its way out the back. Charles using a bit of strength to try and tumble the ball 40. Didn't slide over the footy, but it's going to work out for the Tigers in the end. That kick came off the side of the boot. Schmate nearly got it. That's a push in the back. No free kick coming
well done.
Snap around the body. Sam Wicks has kicked his first of the afternoon, and that's Upwey Tecoma's 15th. And they now go to 15-8-88. And Officer 3 straight 18, nearly 7 minutes gone in the third quarter.
Well, did a great job there, didn't he? And nice little sidestep there as well.
Carlton by 7 points at the Dome, 23rd minute mark of the third quarter.
Fair enough.
Ball just
Back in the centre circle.
Back to the middle now.
It's a lovely little goal, that. Really enjoy that. Yep. Sammy Wicks. Hayden.
And it's Chol who wins the tap. It's all Office here for the moment. Bernardo just knocking it out there to Smolch. Smolch, not a bad handball, but it's cut off here. And Upwey Tecoma are going to go inside 40 once again. Trying to get onto the end of the ball here. This is the other Smolch in chase. Now Schmate just puts the ball up in the air, but it's probably going to be cut off. No, knocked away here. Bernardo's onto it again. Another disposal for Bernardo. This is Neil just throwing the ball onto the boot. And it's turned over, so Upwey Tecoma got it again. And this is Hinton, one of the veterans, as Leo mentioned before. He goes for the kick inboard to the other Hinton. Doesn't hit him, though. And now here's a chance here for Officer to go inside forward 40, but that kick's not going to do it at all. And a reprieve here for the Officer defence. That kick just going straight down the throat there. I think that time it might have been Petito. It's hard to see, though.
Yeah, it was Hill, the coach, standing by himself out there, but it's back out there in centre wing, tennis court side of the ground. A few turnovers taking place. It's in the hands of Officer once again. This is Smolch. Luke gets it across to a teammate, 40 out. Umpire says stand. And distance shouldn't be a problem. Can't quite see Luke. Liam, who is that out there?
No, I can't.
We'll find out very, very soon.
I'll keep an eye on him.
Thank you very much. So an opportunity here to get a goal back for Officer. Just got to keep peppering the goals, keep the scoreboard out of your vision and just do what you can. Puts it up very, very high. Might have been Hancock, and back to a fact it's gone off hands. And it's gone through for a behind. 3-1, that's their first blemish, can you believe that? In the third quarter, 3-1-19. Of course, very much in arrears, 15-8-98. Are up by Tecoma. We've been going 9 minutes.
Peduto received a short kick in. He gives it to Matthews, a young man from the 19s. Nice kick down the line. Roach will come in from the side, affect the contest, nearly throw the body right in. Follows up with a through tackle, unfortunately, and the free kick to go the way of Hellier.
That's going to Roach. Oh, no.
Theoretically, that should be 25.
I think he knocked on
Definitely hear him out there. They kick to the 40. Who's there? A few Rouge jumpers. They bring it to ground. Trying to run on the ball there was Sinclair. Officer come away with it. Guess who? Bernardo will kick to the outer side. And I think that might find the sanctuary of the boundary line. A few of the Upwey players might want deliberate. They won't get it. Be a throw in on the outer side.
Well, Josh wants to know why the umpire says stand. He says you can't see him sitting, which is probably the point. Obviously very bored today, Jace.
Yeah, he must have put the car away already. Ball back into play. Roach front position, got it down. Nicely done too. To McCree, who kicks to about the 40. Cutting it off there was Hill. Handballs over the top to Waters. Waters goes for a little bit of a run. Gave it off to a Tecoma, who gives it back to Jackson Waters in the middle of the ground. Oh, how was that for fast hands from Peduto? Absolutely magnificent, but unfortunately the kicks come undone, although they have just to reload here. Benny O'Loughlin. Bullet pass, magnificent. Over to Clark, who gave it off to a teammate, who's kicked inside 40, has found the young man in Matthews again, intercept mark, and they'll switch play, although the kick just hung a little bit that time. Following short, but he still marked it. They went the kick to the middle, it's been cut off by Smolch, who will look for a teammate inside 40. He plays on, goes short, just got out of the way, did the runner. I said that paid 15. Gee, that's a little bit unlucky. Getting into a little bit of trouble there was Maloney, but officers still have it here. Nice kick to the top of the square. Has been fisted through for a behind.
Oh, just needed a couple more feet, didn't it? It was another goal, but yeah, a bit unlucky not to be paid that mark. 3-2. They are now 20. Officer 15-8-98 up by Tecoma. We've been going 11 minutes, quarter number 3. Kick in stake and place comes to the member side of the ground. Just too tall, taking an easy marks. Wiser. Oh, up by Tecoma. It's a handball to the stressless one. And Von Ness, leading in the race for the football, did quite well. Attacked it well, was Costas, but he couldn't take it with him. Benny Hinton gets it, gives it across to Oates. Another little handball now to another teammate there, and they can keep playing. Oates gets it once again, gets a little bit of a push in the back as he kicks the ball as well. Heads towards the scoreboard. And unfortunately for him and Costas, it beats everybody. It's gone out of bounds for another throw in.
Played really well this quarter, it has to be said, officer, just not for the reward on the scoreboard. You can just see they've gone up tempo a little bit.
Yeah, they've got a freebie out there just running around there on his own, O'Loughlin, and of course Matthews is the freebie for Upwey at the other end of the ground, so they might want to man it up. I think that's a throw. And the umpire Walters agrees. And the free kick to going to Officer, and I hate to see it, Luke Smolch.
Do you think he was on his mark there? I don't think he was.
Well, I'd probably call play on, but you're probably right.
Anyway, that's going to be a ball up now, pretty much where that free kick took place.
Yeah, certainly got to make sure he's clear. He paid the free kick and went to play on. He probably wasn't on the mark.
No.
Umpire Lee Walters says, take it easy, boys.
Bit of a limp there for one of the officer boys, but he'll trudge his way back to the defence as the ball's back in the air. Roach was in a bit of a wrestle there. Ball comes out the back. Burrows will have to wait for it. Going with there was Wicks. But the head over the football there was Ellis.
There we go, a bit of pushy shove.
Yeah, a little bit of temper starting to flare here, a little bit of frustration.
So just throw the ball straight up amongst them.
Yeah, he doesn't care. Roach got the tap, went straight to ground. With the footy here this time is Peduto. Bobbles out the back, fisted forward by Wicks was absolutely remarkable, although there's a few numbers out the back here. Chase Smolch was one of them. Oh, sorry, no, it was West. Roach tackled by 3. You have to do that to bring him to ground. Ellett back in there, kick inside 40 once again for Upwey Tecoma. That should find the sanctuary the boundary line. It does, we'll have a throw in.
So boundary throw in, just probably inside the forward 40 here for Upwey Tecoma. Who, probably fair to say, officer had the better of the quarter, but nonetheless the lead stays at 78 points. Roach for front position, gets it down to Smolch. Smolch just throws onto the right boot, but it's turned over. Nice little chip hook here, finds Jackson Waters. And he wastes no time, puts it inside forward 40. It was on the head there of Beacom, couldn't quite take the mark. Bernardo gets onto it. He just throws the ball onto the boot here, looking for a teammate. Oh, gee, a bit of a crunching contest there, and eventually up by Tecoma, get it again. It's Waters once more. That kick not the best though. And once again, it's Bernardo with the ball again. This is probably just about nearly disposed of number 30. That kick there in the direction that time of Maloney. So interesting couple of seconds there of play. Ball just going back and forth between both teams. It's another boundary throw in about 50 metres out now from goal for Upwey Tecoma. And it'll be Roach and the big fella Weezer on the ruck here. And Roach once again gets front position. He wins the tap down. Had a pretty good day, Roach. There was Von Hess, just couldn't quite take the ball. Smolch has taken in the tackle. And it'll be balled up. Still about 50 metres out for goal here for Upwey Tecoma. So a bit of a deadlock here at the moment. Neither team able to make any advancements. And getting over the top there was Weezer, but that's going to be high, Leo.
Well, could have been a block as well. So interesting one of those calls. Definitely got him right. The big man's hard to get around, isn't he? Long kick down the line. Up the bend on. That's a good mark and or free kick. Umpire most things yes it is. Only with it. Officer, very even turn this so far. Decides to handball it across. Over to a teammate there in Chamat. Puts it to centre half with this little mark taken. Opportunity here for Clark. He's about 40 plus metres out.
Other shots, yeah.
Doesn't seem to fancy his own distance there, so he's going to go right across goal into the forward pocket. Probably wouldn't want to put it there myself. I think I may have just put it into the goal screen, see what happened. Here they go now. They lead out from full back to Upwey Tecoma. They switch back into the centre of the ground.
Oh, this could be... Ooh, interesting. It looked like he played on there.
Well, if the umpire hadn't called play on, you really can't do it. So there's a 25-metre penalty, and now it's going to go downfield.
Oh, don't tell me.
Daniel Waters has got a bit of the free kick.
Oh, gee.
He's going to find himself about 40 metres out. Well, probably 42 in front of the scoreboard, which reached 98-20 in favour of Upwey Tecoma. And he can kick this distance, Daniel Waters.
Yeah, he's got the kicking boots on today.
He's got 7 at the moment, kicked 5 in the second quarter, if you don't mind. He's looking like he wants to give it off.
Setting it up.
No, he's not a shot.
Sucked in. Distance, not an issue. Accuracy, just a little bit shy. And it goes through for behind. They go to 15-9-99. Leading officer 3-2-20. We've gone 16 minutes, quarter number 3.
So Lachlan will bring it back into play, one of the stars of this officer footy club. Out of side, tennis club side, comes out the back. Hancock was the first one to get to it. He couldn't quite pick it up, and then Smolch was there as a reinforcement, but he couldn't pick it up and get any further distance on it either. And going to have a throw in on the outer side. Flung back in now. Roach was more or less held out of it from Weiser. Couldn't quite get a decisive tap forward. Umpires found a free kick going the way of Officer. And deserve a goal for their third quarter effort so far, I think. 2 behinds for the quarter. Hancock gave it off to guess who? Bernardo, who gives it back to Hancock. Hancock will kick inside. Need a mark here, but no one at the fall of the ball, unfortunately, and Weiser was just sitting underneath.
Yeah,
and they took a mark, and they'll go the switch here. They could be on. Ooh, the short pass was no good. Beacom had to wait for it. They had to give it back. Now they're being corralled. It's a dangerous pass, but the young man in Matthews will hold it. Now kick back inboard. Yeah, they're going to go right onto the cricket pitch here. Nice low one for Wicks, who eventually gave it off. Wicks goes to the outer side. The kick was intended for Costas. And there was enough pressure from Bernardo just to let that ball bounce.
You can see how Lachlan just running around half back here on his own. It's up to either Daniel Waters or another player to actually walk to him and make it a 2-on-1 contest, just rather than let him run around free at the moment. I'm surprised they could actually man him up. Young Matthews could go down and man him up if he wanted to, and just help a little bit. It's worked so far for Officer in this quarter.
They go inside 450 here. Do Officer, they deserve a goal here. Didn't have possession of the football there, I didn't think, but nonetheless it's play on, and Upwey get out of trouble for this meantime. Upwey, Tecoma player down behind field here, down near the 50 metre or near the goal square. Very slow to get to his feet. Sinclair was brought to ground, and it's holding the ball to the locals' dismay. We've found a little bit of voice this quarter. Kick Kick to the interchange side was good. Bounced in front of Smolch, who has to go, look around and go. Gave it off to a teammate, and Neil kicks inside 40, but not just a Tigers jumper there. And they're going to go again here, Upwey Tecoma. They'll go use the little bit of the highway. They go for the left lane, which is the broadcast side. Fell into the hands there that time of Waters, who's kicked 7 on the afternoon. Goes backwards to goes forwards. Mark taken by Peduto. What's he going to do here? Kick to the cricket pitch, bouncing on a short length. Oh, and he's just run straight past him. They need a mark here. Clever little kick off the side of the boot, and they get the mark. But maybe just a little bit too out to score. Centering ball, guess who? No, well done. Good sitting in the hole there. Well done by Marks. And he'll eventually kick to Bernardo, and Bernardo has it on defensive 40.
And Bernardo just hoiks it to the outer side of the ground here. It's a 2-on-1 contest. It went over the head of his teammate there, Rogers. And now Upwey Tecoma get the ball again here. Hand pass there just in the direction there of Wiles. And the ball trickles out of bounds, so it'll be a boundary throw on the outer side wing.
So it's only been a 1-goal quarter to Upwey Tecoma at the moment, boys. 1-3, and that's pretty well done there to officers. They've only kicked a couple behinds themselves, but it certainly stemmed the bleeding a little bit. The throwing clears everybody in the pack there. Oates has got it. The opportunity went to Handball, kicked it left foot instead. There's an opportunity now. Oh, Wicks just got a bit of a bad bounce. They put the opportunity there for Chamat as he goes down the centre wing of the ground there. Bernardo, well, he's run all over the place, hasn't he? There seems to be about 3 of them. Goes to the top of the square. Opportunity here now for Maloney. He picks it up, goes left, goes back right, gives a handball across to a teammate. Got nowhere to go, has to go backwards to go forward. Chol goes to get there, but he couldn't get it. Roach does. The big fella picks it up. Oh, does a nice little side strip. Just had a bit of a kick. Umpire said you got a toenail to it, so it's all right. But Upwey get the turnover once again. Go down the outer side of the ground. And unfortunately for Upwey Tecoma, it's been turned over. Caleb Bryce takes a chest mark, plays on straight away. Oh, they've been going quite good here now, officer. Get the ball moving. They play on now, out of the centre circle. Go very short. On the cricket pitch there, wasn't expecting the ball to come in, but his way was Mibus. Goes back and gets it now to another teammate there across the other way through Rogers. He's kicked 1 goal so far today. They need another one here. Umpire's letting it go for a long time. Eventually says, I'll ball it up. Umpire Sophie Mustang. It's inside forward 50. 40. And the ball up takes place. Bang. Opportunity again. Bernardo. He's going to have leather poisoning into the goal square. Has it got through? Oh, if that's got through, that's could be one of our goals of the year. Oh, if you don't mind, Anthony Bernardo. Oh.
We thought Rogers' goal was good earlier. That probably topped it.
Pass, and he probably deserves that. He's worked very hard, hasn't he? What a great goal there, Anthony Bernardo, and just sort of keep floating. Must have got an upward draft or something, and just floated through for one of the goals of the year. Anthony Bernardo, well done.
He's a star.
4-2, 26. The officer 15.999 Upwey Tecoma. So 1-3 to 1-2, so a very even quarter.
Both ruckmen fought a bit of a draw there that time. I'll give it to Chol just on points. I reckon they go inside 40 here. It's found the muddy ground here, and they're holding up well. There's O'Loughlin, a tumbler to the outer side. It's come off somehow. Mark taken by Smelsh. That's Chase. He'll kick to the middle of the ground, intended for probably Roach, but he's about 20 metres away from the ball and might have just been labouring a little bit there. Mark taken. Oh, they bring it out wide. Look at this. They've got a little bit of room here. Upwey Tecoma. They can have a shot or raffle it off towards home. Walters wanted it. But he applauded it either way. It went across the face. You know who kicked that, Leo?
Yep. I think it was the big ruckman there, Weezer.
Weezer will go with. Snoush has the ball in the meantime. They're trying to play on down the outer side. They're doing okay here, officer. They've held up well this quarter. They're into time on. Well into time on. Good tackle there. Umpire will play on the ball. They're playing on straight away. Here's Neil. Neil kicks to 40. That's going to be a free kick downfield, so there'll be another shot on goal here for officer. And the recipient, I think, yes, it will be Brent Maloney, not to be confused with the one that played with Geelong and Melbourne.
Wrong ruckman, it was Beacom, I beg your pardon, Liam. I knew it was one of the big dudes.
Doesn't matter, we put it down as the other bloke, so we'll go with it. So Maloney, he'll kick from 41-42 in the pocket to put them in front for the quarter. Mooney's approach, kick is on the way, it's gone left and it'll stay left. Ooh, throw for a behind.
wobble and a go in the behind post there.
15-10 plays 4-3, 23.5 gone third quarter.
We'll get some scores from around town too. I think Aiden's going to be on that very, very soon.
Yep.
And, starting to get a bit cloudy and a bit dark here as well. Lights might have to come on. There's a 25-metre penalty from a full back, which doesn't help the officer at all. Goes up the middle of the ground. This young man's been quite impressive for one of his early games. Sammy Wicks plays on straight away. Gave it across to Peduto. They can run down centre wing if they want to now. Here they go. Short pass straight to... Is that Ward? No, it's not Waters down there. I think that could be Hellier. On the ground, umpire lets it go. It's been turned over once again. There's been so many turnovers. Smosh. Luke had that turn another one straight back to Wicks. And passes into Benny Hinton. He's lucky not to get 25 there because he hadn't played on.
Few scores from around the grounds here, boys. Narry Warren 12-5-77 leading Pakenham 4-1-25. Wandon 16-10 106 leading Mount Evelyn 9-7-61. Woori-Alec 11-7-73 leading Alinda Ferny Creek 6-7-43. That is Premier Division. Now Division 1. Belgrave still leading Yarra Glen 8-9-57 to Yarra Glen 5-11-41. Berwick Springs 9-6-60 leading Emerald 8-2-50. Gembrook Cockatoo 7-7-49 trailing Seville 10-4-64.
Yeah, we're just starting to get robbed again, aren't they? Seems like there must be a bit of a breeze blowing there because it's been going a bit back and forth.
Yep, that's it. And Warburton Millgrove taking a bit of a lead now against Broadford Yea. Warburton 16-905 I should say to Broadford Yea 4-2-26. Yarra Junction 7-7-49 trailing Kinglake 7-16-58 and Alexandra 8-5-53 trailing Powelltown at 9-8-62. A couple of fist pumps there from Liam Vertigan. I think his tips are looking okay here at the moment.
An injury out here at the moment. Looks like a shoulder injury to this young man. I think this is Caleb Bryce.
He's in trouble too.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
It's either
dislocated. It might be a bit similar to Cody Waitman, potentially.
It is Caleb Bryce, yeah, I thought it was. And let's hope the young man's all right. He's running off the ground, so...
Yeah, that normally shows pain.
He's in a bit of pain, isn't he? Anyway, the game goes on, and it's about 15 metres out from the Upwey Tecoma goal, heading towards that Vic Gresham stand. Wicks overruns the football there, couldn't quite pick it up for Sakan in the agency of Smolch. That's Luke, but it's gone out of bounds for a throw-in right in front of the scoreboard. Shows Upwey 100. Officer, 27 and 26 minutes gone in quarter number 3. Stands out well as the start's getting a little bit darker here at the moment. Roach took it out and got a nice big left-handed handball out there. Found it in the hands of Clark. And as you can hear in the background, the siren does sound for a very good quarter there to the Office Kangaroos. They are 4-3-27. They kicked 1 goal 3 that quarter. And Upwey Tecoma kicked 1 goal 4. So very well done there. They really negated a lot of the Upwey Tecoma attacking prowess by running a couple of players behind the footy, none more so than Benny O'Loughlin. We might quickly go back to our studios in Yarra Valley FM for a short 3/4 time break, and we come back here what will be the last quarter between Upwey Tecoma and Officer. Thanks, Alan. So this is almost like their finals as umpire Lee Walters holds the ball aloft for the start of the last quarter, up by 100, leading Officer 27. The ball goes up and Weezer got the tap out there. It was that man Bernardo once again. Got across to a teammate McGreech and off they go through the agency of Smolch, and that's Luke, and goes down to the forward 50. Big spoil on the ball there by Waters, and that was Sam, the skipper. Maloney just shrugs off a tackle, puts it back square, and it's a diving mark. Hasn't been paid to Peduto. Didn't hold it long enough. Well, the man who doesn't rush too much gave it across to one of the Hittons, and he gave it to the other Hitton. So it was Ben the Keenan, who goes to the forward 50 now, but it's been picked up there by Thompson of Officer. Gave it across to a teammate. But they just keep turning the ball over, don't they? Swift kick straight back into that forward 50. Can they pick it up? Big fella Beacom tries to pick it up and sort of throws it over his head. The umpire said that's all right. The handball straight through for a rush behind. And that is okay by the umpire. So the first score goes the way of a rush behind to Upwey Tecoma. They go to 15-11, 1-0-1, leading Officer 4-3-27. We've already gone 1 minute into this last quarter.
Officer brought the ball to the middle. Here's Roach. Sink a little ball into it. It's turned it over though. This time there's Von Hess. Thumping handball over the top. Worked out okay. Having to stutter and go backwards there was Costas. Kick came from Waters. And it's going to hug the boundary line and in the end go over for a boundary throw-in. So a minute and a half gone. Aiden's going to make his debut on the Valley Vicious on the Chew page. Nick's just got a few cheeky photos of him on the 8. And I am wrapped with that. Magnificent. That's what happens when you leave a nice cold hot dog of sorts to the final quarter, Aiden, and you're on air. You're going to get caught. Ball comes to the outer side. Here they go again, the Tigers. The handball's a bit too hot for Sinclair, but he nearly held on to it. Ball came to Smolsh. Now Upwey Tecoma have control again. They load inside 40. Who's out the back? Just officer players here. Schmate. Handballs to Bernardo. Bernardo hugs the line. Good kick too, finds a teammate. That's Smolsh again, that's Chase.
We've had a lot of positions but not a lot of territory gained.
Smolsh goes short. It's up at teammate, so they're having a very slow, methodical approach. So far it's working. Nice little clear mark to the middle. Can they still go from here? Yes, they can. Mark taken. This looks good.
Could be Clark, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it might be. So they'll load inside here. They would love a mark here, but it's 2-on-1, but they have made a contest out of it. Comes out the back. They just need a nice clean handball. Oh, stuck it off the ground! There we go. Nice little bit of reward for effort there for Maloney. And there's the 5th of the afternoon for Officer. They go to 5-3-33, and Upwey Tecoma 15-11, 101. 3 minutes gone in the final quarter.
Always tempted to pick it up, wasn't he? But I just thought the better of it. I'll just put my boot into it, and came off as a nice little drop punt, actually.
Yes.
Didn't have to clear the old chef too much. He's only about 3'6.5", Alistair Rasker, so did it quite nicely. But no, quick thinking, that play a bit of play, as we mentioned. Just looked a bit more methodical, didn't it?
Yeah, well thought up play, so... Yeah, good on them. So they're fighting well here. Officer, aren't they, Aiden?
Yeah, that's it, Liam. And getting the ball here now is McGeach and just throws it onto his left boot to a one-on-one contest, trying to get to his teammate there in Elliott. And taking into crunching tackle there again was Elliott. Getting the handball out that time there was Beacom. And they're away here, Upwey Tecoma, but that kick not really going to anyone in particular. Trying to run onto it was Costas. And the ball eventually trickles out of bounds. So it'll be a boundary throw-in on the outer side wing. So taking the ruck contest here is Weezer and Roach. A pretty good day has Roach. Have been a pretty solid second half here for Officer. They've certainly played a lot better football. Scoreboard maybe doesn't suggest it so much, but nonetheless they've stuck at it, which is good to see. And it's going to be another boundary throw-in again on the outer side wing. Just held off a few of the attacks here from Upwey Tecoma, who were just so dominant in that first quarter. And again, it's Weezer and Roach in the ruck. Roach with the front position, just got a little tap out the back there, but it went straight to Ben Hinton, who puts it inside 40 metres here. That's a good mark.
Strong clunk, wasn't it?
And it's Beacom who's taken it, so he's going to line up from about 25 metres out on a 45-degree angle. And this for Upwey Tecoma's first of the last. Beacom going with a reasonably long run up here, but yeah, I tend to see that a little bit more these days, and begins a nice steady approach towards goal. Little stutter step there. And that's a pretty good looking kick. Goal umpire dances a little bit, and it's just missed to the near side. So another behind their score here at Upwey Tecoma, 15-12, 102. Officer 5-3-33. We've been going 5 minutes into the last quarter.
Yeah, opportunity gone there, and yeah, sometimes the run-ups are a bit too long. As you said, you put that stutter step in and it just throws you out a little bit. But nonetheless, Officer much better in the second half and kept the bleeding to an absolute minimum. It's gone straight towards the boundary line. It's been found once again. Just haven't got the width on the grounds down here at Upwey, and I think a lot of the clubs, they get found out pretty quick. You really almost got to get the measurements of the club and put some hats out on training days and say, this is where we're playing, guys, and this is where we've got to be. Roach got it out once again. A couple of little handballs out there. The handball tried to find its way back to Roach via Neil, but the boundary line's got him once more. It's going to be another throw in.
That's what some of the AFL clubs do when they play at Geelong.
Yeah, they do. They just make Geelong ground. That's exactly what they do. So throw in. Roach in the ruck again. Both ruckmen got a bit of a tap out there. I thought Weezer got a little bit of better being in front, but it's taken away once again by Officer. They're doing quite a good job here. Little handball just as he got tackled was Hancock right in the centre circle. I just want to keep handballing this ball. Someone must kick it eventually, and that probably should have been just done then. Keenan Hinton just barges his way through for Upwey Tecoma. Just a bit of a irregular bounce there, beat at Hellier, unfortunate for him. And so Officer can get away with it once more. Did umpire play that mark? I thought it was a bit close.
He did.
And I think think the player thought it wasn't 15 metres, and that player was Tommy Marks. And the two number 9s help each other up. So it's right in front of the cages box. Umpire Sophie Mustang, she throws it up in the air. Nice little tap out there by Weezer. Where was that handball going? Over his head. Don't think that's a good idea. Off the ground. Nice little kick there by Wicks. It made a bit of distance as well. It's gone inside forward 50. Picked up nicely over there by Chimat, who's been okay for Officer as well. Got a bit of a free player over there. It's a skipper in O'Loughlin. You can have a bit of a run around. What's he want to do? Goes down the line. Looking for a leading Bernardo. He's been absolutely brilliant today. Led in front of Hill. Took a mark and played on straight away. And this looks promising once more. It's in the hands of Riley Clark. It's come off his fingers and it's gone out of bounds for another throw in.
He's been simply magnificent today, Anthony Bernardo, and what can you expect, really? What do you expect? Nothing but
He just
brilliant.
loves hunting the footy, doesn't he?
He does. Ball thrown in, neutral territory, out of side. Roach in the front there in the ruck, but still somehow lost it to Weiser. Ball dribbles out the back. Umpire's found a free kick. Going away of Upwey Tecoma. Yep.
Yeah, I think you got a high tackle round.
It's waste no time. Kicks out in front of the roller. It's not a turf wicket here, which is interesting enough.
That's a super soaker.
Yeah, it is too. My bad. There you go, Aiden. I'm surprised you didn't laugh at that. Anyway, ball comes inside forward 50 for Upwey Tecoma, but Smolch takes it away straight away, and they could be on out the back here because they did have a spare free there. Did Officer? Yep, there was that spare right there on the 25. I'll go backwards to go forwards. Here's Mibus. Mibus goes. Oh, it's a risky kick, but Schmate did well, sat underneath it, and was ready to take the contact if it was going to be anything. Kicks to 40, and that's a strong mark in front there that time. I think that's cost us. Waters, my apologies.
And back here to the member side of the green. Yeah, the skipper got it quite. Oh, big bang! Ouch! Ran into a Mack truck and getting up very gingerly there. Showed a lot of guts to Sinclair. Should get a pat on the back from all his teammates because he's got a really gutsy effort.
I think his head's spinning a little bit at the moment.
Oh, mate, that was a very hard clash indeed. And was a big man, is Roach. Goes very short there, and Chol takes the mark. It's only just a required distance.
Accentuated a bit of contact there, I think, too, did Chol.
Yeah, took the mark. Play on now. Wants to go, comes off the side of the boot. Might be okay. Goes one. Oh, nearly took the mark. Couldn't quite hang on to that. Unfortunate for Upwey was Peduto. The umpire just lets him play along. Goes into the centre of the ground. Just sort of thrown out in front of him was Smolch. Lets him go. Where's another whistle on play? And the free kick is going to go to. It's going to go to Officer. And picked up here by Neil. Centre wing. Should drive it long. Decides to handball. Gives it to a teammate under a bit of pressure, and Luke Smolch goes to the scoreboard side of the ground. Big punch there by Waters. Didn't go anywhere in particular. Wanted it to go out. It has now in front of Wicks, and it's gone out for a throw-in. Right in front of the Vic Wesson stand. See if you can get a goal here, Aiden.
Here we go. Boundary throw in right in front of the, as it says now, the virus and tanned. A couple of letters missing. But anyway, it's a boundary throw in. Chol's in the ruck. Up against, I think it was actually Smolch who nominated there. And anyway, the ball goes out of defensive 50 the meantime for Upwey Tecoma, but it's going to go straight back in for a grubber. No, it's not. Wicks is going to cut it off. Tries to bust through, but couldn't quite. But they're looking pretty good here now, Upwey Tecoma. That kick there to a 1-1 contest. The man there was Waters. And they're away now. Just throws the ball onto the boot to a 1-1 contest. Out the back here is Picaro, but no, just couldn't quite run onto it and finish it all off. So a boundary throw in the forward pocket here for Upwey Tecoma. So a real good chance here now for a goal, and it's going to be Roach, and I think it's going to be Weezer again in the ruck. So see who wins the battle of the big fellas here. Now it's actually Beacom is going to go into the ruck. So we're ready to go. And ball's thrown back into play. It's Roach again with the front position, but I think it was Beacom who won the tap. No clear possession there, and again, Officer just getting it out of there for the time being. Chol just punches it forward. Running onto this, I think, is Waters of the Jackson variety. And he's hit up a teammate here. We'll find out who it is in a second. If we can figure out the number there. I think it might have been Glenn Costas, potentially.
I think it is.
So Glenn Costas, he's going to line up from about 40 metres out. Bit of angle about the kick. And this for his first goal for the afternoon, and Upwey Tecoma's 16th. And begins his approach towards goal now, a few stutter steps. That kick looks pretty good. Goal umpire has to dance a little bit though, but missed. It's just across the face in the end. as you heard Liam Vertigan say there. So another behind here for Upwey Tecoma. And the leader is 70 points. The score is 15-13, 103 to 5-3-33. We've been going 11 and a half minutes in the last quarter. Liam.
So you're going to be an early finish, isn't it? It's only 4:15. Ball back into play. Tanner Thompson there with the footy. He handballs backwards to... who was that for a second? I've just said a Prem played West. Change the number. Here's Neil Schmate. Found a teammate. Little tumbler forward was good. And they're loading up all right. Schmate again. Actually, that would have been Chase Smelsh, actually. My apologies. Kick to the middle. Upwey Tecoma off to the races here. Oates inside 40. Got it on the bounce. Great handball. Running in. Open goal. Out onto the highway. Thank you very much.
Nicely done. Good bit of play there. Glenn Costas with the goal and the finish, but well, that's their first goal since the 6-minute mark of the third quarter. So made hard work of it, and Officer really had made them work for the goal as well. 16-13, 109. Upwey Tecoma, 5-3-33. Officer now 12 and a half gone. So they've done very well in this second half so far. Officer 2 7-goal quarters by Upwey Tecoma in the first and second quarter, and at the moment they've only kicked 2 goals since half time. And so have Officer. So it's been pretty even balls after that. They've done quite well.
Probably say Officer are winning the second half, but just scoreboard dominance-wise, Leo.
Well, they've kept it to the minimum. Probably what they needed to do. It was a good tap out there by Child, but didn't go to anyone in particular. Good smother. Keenan Hinton, Ben Hinton there as well, tackling an opponent without the ball. Free kick should be going the way of Luke Smolch, and it is right in the centre circle. He's got a couple of switch players if he wants. One's right below us here in our broadcast position with Johnny Hancock. Takes an uncontested mark. Still about 70 out from goal. This goes back into the centre circle as well. Just trying to maintain a bit of possession here, our Officer. And this bloke's been pretty good too, Matty Chmat. Goes right across the other side of the ground. The mark's been taken over there. This is Chase Smolch. Goes into that forward 50. Can you believe it? Bernardo actually dropped the mark. Goes back out there and a ricochet. Attempted by young Wicks. Couldn't quite hang on to it. Would have been an absolute beauty.
The locals nearly went off on the Violent Wessam score.
And here comes the unstressful one. Look at that. Stressless. Very short. Beacon made it too hard. It's been picked up there by Rogers. Goes back to the top of the 40. Oh, that's a bit of tunnelling there on against Maloney, I thought. The umpire let it go. Picked up there and kicked out along towards the outer side by Wiles. Goes centre wing right in front of the Super Soaker there. And it's going to go out of bounds. And it has. Great throw in. Yeah, a bit of tunnelling there, I thought, boys. That's a pretty dangerous move. And in basketball, you'd be out the stadium.
Ball will be thrown back in, 16-13 to 5-3. 14 and a half gone in the final term. Roach had the front position. Down to Smolch to Bernardo. There's the 3 they love. What a trio they are. Ball still on neutral territory. That's a throw, and that should be 25.
Could have been, should have been, isn't it? Played the throw. It was a good tackle. Rewarded.
Free kick going the way of Matty Rogers. So, gives the Upwey Tecoma players a chance to run back. Rogers will go
just kick back from where it was.
An awful long way back to Schmate, who plays on. Goes for a run. He's just landed on a full length there now. And he's turned the ball over.
Poor kick.
Here's Von Hess, 17th century composer. Kicks it down the line in front of Picaro, who got an unkind bounce and was wrapped up pretty quickly by Lesky. Kick inside the 40 from Hinton. Just a little bit too hot for the man down forward in Beacon, and it's found the sanctuary of the boundary line for a throw-in.
So, bit of life gone out of this, and it really did start at the bull out of gate, and I didn't think it could keep going at that particular pace. And it slowed down to about my pace, about walking pace. Over the back it went. Beacon took it out of the air and gave it across to a teammate who's gone whack bang over the left shoulder in Peduto, and it has been touched over the line. And they just can't kick another one. 16-14, 110 Upwey Tecoma, 5-3-33 Officer, 16 minutes gone last quarter. They haven't been going too long here at the moment. They've cleared out once more. Nice little pick up there. Luke Smoltz took the mark from the kick in, but it has gone out on the full yet again. Sure, they can see a line down there, guys. You reckon they'd learn by now today? Very big.
You would think so.
Anyway, turnover's been done. And Upwey Tecoma got it about 60 out. Benny Hinton makes a lead inside the middle of the ground, but that's been ignored. Punched out of thin air there by Lesky of Officer. Been picked up there by Benudo. He's must have sore feet and hand or by now, I would think. Nobody going to the ball carrier at all. Goes up to the tennis court side of the ground. Nobody can take that mark. Benny Hinton gave it across to his teammate. Long to that forward 50. All Waters had the sit. Couldn't quite get off the ground this time. Must be ringing out a bit of puff. And here we go once again. The turnover's been done and Hancock's got it.
As the ball moves through the broadcast side of the wing there and spoiled beautifully that time there by Jackson Waters. So Bandry thrown right in front of Officer's bench here. And just waiting for it's going to be Roach in the ruck. And it's going to be Weezer going up against him. So standing pretty far back in the centre square, Roach just thumps it forward into the direction of his teammate in Elliott. But they win it back here to Upwey Tecoma. It's Oates who's got the ball. He hand passes back to a teammate that time there in Wiles, I think it was. And now they can get the ball moving forward. This is Hinton of the Ben variety. And he just waits, or he doesn't wait, I should say. He just throws onto the right boot to the advantage of Beacom, who's taken the mark.
Just a little held the body well there with a little oomph.
Yep, that's it. Good use of the body. It was very well done.
Kick it out to the highway zone.
I think he's taken in the goal square, so he'll be kicking from directly in front, a couple of metres out. Put it in the book, says Liam.
Put it in the book.
He's pretty confident.
Put it in.
Yeah, Leo's put it in.
The only thing we've got to wait for here is if we're going to have to wait a couple of seconds as they kick it into the net. Nup kicks into the net. Beautiful kick for goal. The score here, 17-14, 116. Officer, 5-3, 33. We've been going 18 minutes into the last quarter.
We'll see what's happening around town. I see Liam quickly doing that in 100 gamer. Kicks his second goal of the afternoon. And,
the rampaging Blues are keeping on. They had a 5-goal second term. 29 minutes gone in the final quarter. They're 12-9-81. They're leading Fremantle 7-7-49. Kerno kicked 4, Leo?
I think I may have made mention of that.
You said he was going to kick 6. He's kicked 4.
He's a gun.
Yeah,
he's
pretty close.
But, he's a gun player. I can tell you that right now. They're very lucky to have him back after all the injuries he's had. Back in the centre circle once again. Umpire Sophie Mustang puts it up in the air. It was tapped out by Weezer of Upwey Tecoma. This young man's impressed me in Wicks. Goes long towards the goal. One. And that is a perfect bit of play by Upwey Tecoma. Sammy Wicks kicks his second goal. And the 18th goes on the board here to Upwey Tecoma to go to 18-14. 122. 5-3-33. Officer 19 gone. Liam, what was that special comment?
Oh, they were all getting to him. They were flooding from the back line just to get around him and support him for that goal.
Yeah, sorry, mate. It was head down riding. And,
no, that's okay.
Great bit of play.
So approaching time on here in the final quarter. 18-14 to 5-3. Ball's flung back up in the air. Roach has been good all day today. I'll give him the tap down once again. And here they go again through Wicks and the Warwick Kappa light shorts. He was run down, but they'll still load inside the 40 from Peduto to the top of the square. Who's there out the back? Just a few kangaroo jumpers to relieve any pressure here. It's a pretty clever kick, but it came undone. The mark's been taken by Wilson. He's been told to go back. No, he's going to back himself in another dim.
Still a free player in the forward pocket if he wants.
No, that's just ignore him. That's fair enough, I suppose, to just inflict another goal onto the board. It's Wilson. He runs a bit of a right arc. The kick is on the way. I tell you what, that's holding its line, is it? It's fallen short. Smothered off the boot in the goal square. There's still a chance the Tigers. Another snapping shot on goal has gone too far to the left through for a behind.
Do we see who that was?
Sinclair, the 28. 18-15 plays 5-3. 20 and a bit gone. Final term into time on. Can Officer kick one or two more?
Well, they've got to get at the other end. They've kicked one so far, but been about a quarter, and they've only kicked 3 goals themselves Upwey. And when you think they've only kicked 4 goals in the second half, they won't be too upset about that. Officer, they've done much better. Upwey, well, they will come away with a win. That certainly is what they were looking for, and they'll get that. The ball's centre wing. Officer with it once again. Just overusing the ball a little bit. They're going to have to kick it sooner or later. They do so now. Standing all alone in the centre of the ground. Marks takes that mark. Gives it across to another teammate. Comes back to the broadcast side of the ground, and in front of that could be in close contact. I thought to Hancock. Umpire said no, play it on.
He avoided contact well, I think.
And a nice little chip kick up there. It's a sand iron, and the mark's been taken. It's been a good last quarter by Sammy Wicks.
Wicks just with a short kick. It's not a very good one though, but a clean bowls everyone. And spills out the back here. The numbers here at the moment with Officer. I think it was that man in Schmate who won the ball there. He goes again. Schmate had a pretty good game, but that probably got the best kick there, and it hits out Stuart Hill. A little bit of a cheer from the crowd here. That kick's an interesting one. It's beautifully done there by Ben Matthews. Made it work in the end. So he just looks ahead. He's just going to continue moving the ball along the outer side of the ground, and they're looking pretty good here. This kick in here from Waters, probably not the best one. Trickles out of bounds. It was in the Daniel Waters direction, but boundary throwing inside the forward 40 metres here for Upwey Tecoma. So another chance for a goal. We're just going to have to wait a couple of seconds until the ball comes back.
Just like that was a great mark by the youngsters, come up from the juniors as well. That mark there by Benny Matthews, who was under a lot of pressure from that kick from the coach. Did him no favours whatsoever.
It was a magnificent effort there. He made the kick look very, very good. As it's a boundary throw in. It's Beacom and Roach. Roach with front position once again. He won the tap. No clear possession here for the moment. And it's locked up, and it's going to be balled up.
Was it a free kick paid by a non-officiating umpire?
No, I think they're going to leave it.
It is. It's a free kick.
It is a free kick, and it's a shot at goal. So if
good call out.
India will turn around and show us his number, we can.
Look how fast he's walking.
In absolutely no hurry.
Oh no, it's going to go.
It looks like Simon Orenshaw is.
No, it's Peduto.
It's Peduto.
Sorry, I saw Von Hess walking back, and I thought he's just laconically going back.
All right, Mark Peduto then. He's lining up for goal. This is for the 19th goal of the afternoon for Officer.
Got the lovely pink boots on.
He's kicked 2 behinds so far this afternoon, so he'll be hoping to slot this one through the middle. Peduto. Interesting approach there. Some very skinny little steps. It's not a bad looking kick. And that's straight through the middle. It's a goal. And the score here at Upwey Tecoma, 19-15, 129 to Officer 5-3-33. We've been going at 23 minutes in the final quarter.
Nice little pretty little skinny steps. I like that. And worked for him, and whatever works is good. So just putting a bit of space again now up at Tecoma, just dictating that they are the better side here today, and they are by a long way. So you look at this and you think, how come they've only been a couple of wins for the year, Liam, don't you? Because they certainly looked all right. Still few too many turnovers for my liking against the proper sides or big sides. So they'll learn from this. Up in the middle she goes up once again. Roach just put the big backside in and got the right hand to it. Oh, that could have been a bit of eye contact on Wicks. Stood his ground well, but umpire Walters might have been blindsided. Centre wing it goes. Leading out for the race for the football, but he can't quite pick it up. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, got it, and then threw it out there was Von Hess, but it goes to Bailey Scott. That looked an ordinary wobbly old kick, gets a bit of a leg break, goes towards the boundary line, and turns out to be a reasonably good result for Upwey.
Coming from the ground, actually, Wicks after that.
Yeah, I think he might have a bit of a cut eye, did he, or not? He just got hit right in the corner of the eye. Oh no, he's doing quite well, and he's played a very good game, the young man. Throw in, forward pocket. Down at the Jimbrook end of the ground. Beacom just knocks it straight down to the ground. Tackle immediately with the football. There's really no prior opportunity. The umpire, Sophie Mustang, says I'll ball it up. About 20 metres out from Upwey's goal. We're getting very late into this game. 24 minutes gone.
Yes,
what are you laughing at?
Another stoppage inside forward 50 here for Upwey Tecoma.
The Russian.
Roach just got the tap down. Leo's just referred to me as the Russian. The nickname I've been given at work, which is quite an interesting one. But anyway, the ball going up the line. Schmate tries to get in there and win it.
Oh, well done.
And they do that pretty well here, R2 Officer. They're moving the ball now along the broadcast side of the ground here. That kick there, it's mark's going to be paid here to Clark. I don't think Liam thought that it was a mark, but nonetheless it's been paid. He just goes with a short kick up the line. That one's going to work okay. Gone 8 metres. Get the ball here now is Ellett. And Ellett just goes across the ground here. Interesting kick, but that's it's just going to fall short. And onto the end of the ball here is Ben Hinton. And they've got numbers ahead of the ball here to Upwey Tecoma. They can get the ball moving. I think this is Beacom who's got the ball, and that's a pretty good hand pass. Hitting up Von Hess. Von Hess can run. Pretty good kick to the advantage of Waters, but it was a good spoil that time there by Thompson, who's done a good job on him in this second half. And I think Upwey Tecoma with a bit of a reprieve here in defence. No. Here we go. Oh, it's a shot at goal, but it's across the face. And one behind Lamb.
Yeah, that was the 17th century composer who's kicked that behind there in Jethro Von Hess. 1916 plays far 3, 25 and a half gone, final third. Bernardo takes the kick-out duties to a Genuine one-on-one. It bounced in front of his teammate Chase Mouch. Yes, Genuine, Aiden. Peduto out the face of the ball. Wrapped up by Bryce, who's gone back out there, Leo, after he looked in a little bit of Barney rubble with a potential shoulder problem near that three-quarter time break.
Good to see.
Yeah, very good to see.
Hopefully he'll yabba do a few more good things this game, Liam.
Well, considering there's 26 minutes gone, Aidan, I don't know how long they'll be left, and I don't know how many chances he could get. Von Hess got a kick forward. Here's Smoush again. And went to the big bad Roach.
Oh, that's...
Now, I think I heard touched.
Okay.
And then umpire paid the mark.
One of the players might have said touch, so you can't believe everything the player says, Liam.
No, thank you very much, Aidan. You're turning into a little bit of a smart aleck with the last couple of minutes ago. Maloney kicks to the middle of the ground. This is the other Smash. That's Luke. He'll kick inside 40, and that's a crunchy fist over the line there that time by Burrows for a throw in. 26 and a half gone. A 97-point lead.
Yeah, they've done it quite well in the finish up by Tecoma. Had a bit of a lean patch through quarter number 3, but they held their own, and it was good to see a bit of a fight back there by the Kangaroos of Officer. So it's in there forward 40 at the moment. Big throwing, goes over the back of the pack, right in about the centre corridor at the moment, just thrown out the back of the pack. Handball came out from Burrows, goes to a teammate, and Keenan Hinton goes out to the tennis court side of the ground, looking for Child, taps it over his head there, almost can get back and get his own kick. All followed up quite nicely, did Blakey Burrows, and took it all the way back there to centre wing, and it's gone out of bounds for another throw in. So it's gone all the way from the back pocket there. Blake Burrows, well done. So throw in. Closing minutes of this last quarter, 27 and a bit gone. 130 leads 33 in favour of the Upwey Tigers. Good throw in it is too, nice and high. Oh, well done there. As I got the knocked out there, was opposite, but it went straight to Keenan Hinton, puts it up very, very high indeed. Oh, attacking the ball well. I can't see who it was, but it was well done by Officer. Oh, and just the old don't argue after the mark was being taken there by, was that Ellett? I'm not quite sure. The umpire just lets him go. Bit of, just as Ellett right now, he got the long sleeve, he kicked it absolutely nowhere. Straight back to Upwey Tecoma, a bit of fatigue, we know that's happening there. This is the young man who had the ball before in West. As you say, Liam changes the number and you lose track of who they are. But the siren has sounded for the final time. And Upwey have gone on to record a very handy win, 19-16, 130, defeating Officer 5 goals 3 to 33. Boys, we might quickly go back to our studios of Yarra Valley FM where we can collate all the numbers and figures here and come back for this game and all the other results in and around town. Thanks, Alan.